It's a three-pointer. Carolina wins it. The Tar Heels win it.
The following is a presentation of the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Home sweet home. Man, after playing just one game in Chapel Hill in the last 42 days, the Tar Heels finally return to the Smith Center this afternoon to face Syracuse. And while the Heels are happy to be playing in their home gym, man, they sure did like the results playing somewhere else. Coming into today, Carolina has won 5 consecutive contests, 4 of which came away from Chapel Hill, including 3 straight ACC road games. The Heels look to continue that momentum, finally back home this afternoon against the Orange. The Tar Heels Sports Network's coverage of the 23rd meeting between Syracuse and Carolina starts right now.
15 on the shot clock. Tries to lob to Trimble. He climbs the ladder and throws it down. Cadeau puts his defender in the spin cycle and lays it up and over his head for 2. Ingram between the circles to R.J. Davis for 3. Knocked it home from the right wing. If you need a bucket, who else? Well, I thought he was going to slow it up to Trimble. Back to Baycott. Slow that up, baby. Two-handed dunk. Crossover, step back. That's an impossible shot. How'd he do it? Oh, drives it. Bounce past the Withers. Way up in the air for the flush. One-handed push pass to Baycott. He's going to try a corner. 3. There we go. Davis, long pass to Trimble in the corner. He'll try a triple. Why not? Everybody's knocking him home. Back to Davis. His 3 at the horn. Count it! Davis swishes it home at the buzzer.
The Tar Heels Sports Network is on the air with Carolina basketball.
This is Dave Nathan. After an unbeaten road trip through Pittsburgh, Clemson, and NC State, Carolina happy to be back at home today against Syracuse. Jones Angel will have the call of this afternoon's contest.
Dave, for the first time in nearly 50 years, Syracuse basketball has someone other than Jim Boeheim guiding the program. Adrian Autry leads his Orange into the Smith Center today, looking for a signature win in his first season. Plenty of signature wins on this guy's resume. Tyler Zeller, the 2012 ACC Player of the Year and a member of the 2009 National Championship team.
Thanks. Great to be here and cheer on our Tar Heels. We try to get another big ACC win.
We've got all those storylines on the Reed's Jewelers pregame show. Plus, Derek Phelps discusses his career at Carolina. We'll bring you interviews with head coach Hubert Davis and Syracuse assistant Brendan Strawn. Tyler Zeller and Adam Lucas answer your questions about the Tar Heels, and we'll check on scores from around the country, too. All of that and more is coming up as we count you down to tip-off between the Tar Heels and Orange. Finally, back in the Smith Center in Chapel Hill, this is Carolina basketball from Learfield.
This is Carolina basketball on the Tar Heels Sports Network, and you're listening to the Reed's Jewelers pregame show. Carolina basketball is brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza, the official pizza of Carolina Athletics. This is the Reed's Jewelers pregame show.
Coming off a 3-game road trip, Carolina couldn't have fared better. Wins at Pittsburgh, Clemson, and NC State have the Heels as the lone unbeaten in ACC play. But maybe more importantly, Hubert Davis' team has found its identity, suffocating defense. The effort put forth in Raleigh Jones was historic, holding State to 27% shooting, and time will tell if things continue today.
Yeah, and just 2 of 20 from three-point range for State, part of that 27% shooting for the Wolfpack, and another rebounding advantage for Carolina in that game. 49-41 was the eventual rebound total for the Tar Heels, and that is not unusual in the grand scheme of Carolina basketball, but we know earlier this year the Tar Heels were having some trouble on the glass, and they have mitigated that problem, at least here as of late. And Zia really has been that defense, and we talked about it a bunch the other night. I mean, Carolina, I don't think has particularly shot the ball as well as it would like here as of late, but they're still winning these games because of the defense, because of the rebounding, and because of their effort. And then we saw it the other night where that game was hanging around 2 to 7 points,
Then all of a sudden the offense clicked for about 5 or 6 minutes, and all of a sudden it was a 17-point game. And so if Carolina could merge those two things together, well, it's an exciting prospect for sure.
Absolutely. I think our defense has been phenomenal recently. Our offense was great early, so you got to imagine at some point that all comes together. And we got to, we were just talking about Cormac Ryan hasn't made a lot of threes, but historically has been a good three-point shooter. So we got some guys who have a lot of potential on offense, but that defense is hard to play against, and it's so frustrating playing against a team, playing that hard, playing that well. You only get one shot. Eventually you're going to start taking rush shots and bad shots, and it really can wear a team down.
I mean, talking about the offensive side, do you still think Carolina is getting good shots, or do you think that for the most part that something has not been working as well offensively?
I think we're getting great shots. We're doing a great job pushing the ball in transition. I think sometimes we push the ball a little too far. We try to challenge a 2-on-3 break, and instead of pulling it out and getting a really good offense and a good shot. So, at the end of the state game, I think we did a great job. We pushed the ball, took the transition opportunities we had, but we also set up things and put Cadeau in a pick and roll. RJ coming off that flare, and then Armando rolling, which was extremely effective.
Guys, one of the other things that's jumped out to me in the last couple days about how the Tar Heels have played recently is how good they've been in the second half. Now, we're just 4 games into conference play, but while the Heels and their opponents have played to a virtual draw in the first 20 minutes of those games, Carolina's outscored its opponents by 45 points in the second half of games this year.
Yeah, and to me, that's the competition part. Carolina is competing from the opening tip until the final buzzer, and I do think at some point that competition level, that level of just high effort, wears you down a little bit as the opposition. And to your point, Z, I think some of that is the defense as well, because when you haven't been getting good looks, when it has been a frustrating day as the opposition, then I think you start taking some rush shots. You start taking some things maybe outside of the flow of your offense, and that, in theory, would help Carolina in this scenario. And so, to me, that's the two things that have really added up to that big second-half margin is just the level of competing and then that defense and how good it's been here as of late.
Absolutely. I think we play so hard that you eventually just start to wear teams down. Obviously, Carolina, we've always pushed the pace. We've always wanted to play fast with the intention of trying to wear teams down, but now you add defense on top of that where it's frustrating and you don't feel good. You're not getting 1 or 2 makes in a row to be able to feel good about yourself. It's really hard to play against.
And on the subject of defense, that was where Seth Trimble made his biggest impact last year off the bench for Carolina. A year later, he's obviously still showing up defensively, but he's a player you've got to take seriously if you're Syracuse on the other end of the floor.
Well, he has really done a great job just embracing what he is being asked to do. He has taken 12 three-pointers. He's made 7 of them. I bring that up because he's only taking shots like that when they're within the flow of the offense. It's an open shot. It's a good shot. He's not out there trying to go one-on-one and elevating and taking a guarded three. That's not his game right now. He's taking open shots when they're there. He's done a great job, Tyler, in transition. I think he is one of the best on Carolina's team at just pushing it when he gets that opportunity. He can clearly finish at the rim with his athleticism, and he's playing great defense. And so he has carved out that role that for 15 to 25 minutes, somewhere in that range, he's going to be on the floor, and you have a good feeling about what you're going to get.
Absolutely. I think you said it perfectly. He's accepted his role on this team. He's not trying to be what everybody thinks he can't do, which is a challenge for a lot of guys. And he's elevating at the rim, finishing in transition, guarding really well. And with the amount of shooters we have on this team, we need somebody to be able to get downhill and get to the rim. And he's making the right play. He's finishing well, which is an incredible asset to our team.
Carolina and Syracuse coming up just afternoon. And after our next time out, we'll talk about the Orange from Learfield. Tar Heel fans, Food Line is the proud sponsor of the Score to Give More program. For each free throw the Tar Heels make in today's game, Food Line Feeds will donate 100 meals to feed our neighbors in need right here in the Triangle. Dave Nathan welcoming you back to the Reed's Jewelers pregame show. You've heard from Jones and Z, of course, Ben Alexander, Adam Lucas, Jody Zeugner, and John Essick also taking part in today's broadcast as we shine the spotlight on Syracuse, a team that comes to town at 11-4 overall, 2-2 in the ACC, and For the first time in a couple of generations, the Orange are led by somebody other than Jim Boeheim. Adrian Autry was promoted in the offseason to head coach, and Jones, so far the Syracuse alum hasn't disappointed, guiding his team to 6 wins over its last 7 games.
Isn't it hard to believe that Jim Boeheim was the head coach at Syracuse 47 years? I mean, nearly 50 years he was the head coach there. Obviously had a ton of success, well north of 1,000 victories, had the national title there in the early 2000s as well, and I believe it was 5 Final Fours in Coach Boeheim's tenure. So a terrific career for him, and time the Orange felt, and he felt to go a different direction. And so very similar to the Tar Heels story, honestly, Dave. Adrian Autry, who was a terrific player for Syracuse in the early 1990s, had been a long-time assistant coach, had been on the staff for 12 years with Coach Boeheim, and Syracuse doing something similar to what Carolina did and keeping it with someone who knows their program, both as a player and as a coach, and they're hoping Adrian Autry can guide them into the future. And what Syracuse has done well this year, as far as just kind of big picture, is they've beaten the teams they're supposed to beat. You look at their record, they're 11-4, and pretty much every team that they've played that you would look at on paper and go, that's probably a Syracuse game, they've taken care of. And that's not always easy to do. Where they have not had as much success is against the teams that they maybe aren't as good as. And so, Z, I think that they are very hungry for an impactful win, a signature win. You know, they lost to Gonzaga earlier this year in Honolulu. That was the Maui tournament played in Honolulu this year. Lost to Tennessee in that event. They lost to Duke. They lost to Virginia, both those games on the road. But all 4 of those games were competitive and then kind of got away from Syracuse in the last, we'll say, 10 or 12 minutes, particularly that Duke game. That was like a 2-point game, I think, early second half. And then Duke hit 8 of 8 and from 3 in the second half. So it's a team that is clearly good, and they are trying to take that next step to being really good. And the Tar Heels would like to delay that step at least for a day.
I agree, and I think looking at their roster, they're very young. They got a lot of transfers. They got a lot of guys trying to make the name for themselves. So it's a very dangerous team. Noon game, you never know what you're going to get from everybody. So it's one of those games you got to go out and be prepared for. Us coming back home, we can't have any kind of letdown or anything. A really tough schedule. It's good to be home. A Syracuse team that hasn't played awesome. So you got to make sure that we don't have that letdown that can really get us down 10 points early, and then we're kind of battling the rest of the game.
The Tar Heels had to face a former Orange sharpshooter in Joe Girard earlier. And now Syracuse leans on Chris Bell for a good portion of its outside scoring. Bell's a sophomore. He's knocked down 34 three-pointers, and guys, at 6'7", he's a tough matchup for anybody on the perimeter.
Well, it's interesting. So Syracuse isn't going to run that 2-3 zone all the time anymore. They do throw it in there some, but it's not going to be their primary defense, or almost their only defense, which is what we've seen from them over the last several decades, really, under Coach Boeheim. But they still have a lot of players that were recruited to play in that way. And by that I mean, Z, you've got a lot of guys like Chris Bell who are long-arm, athletic guys who were a real menace in that zone, and they're still a menace in the way that Syracuse is playing, just a more aggressive man-to-man. So you're looking at Bell at 6'7", Judah Mintz, of course, their leading scorer, terrific player, at 6'4", Justin Taylor, who's 6'6", Malik Brown, 6'8". They live in that 6'4", 6'8", long-arm athletic space, and Carolina's got to be ready to deal with that today.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting how Cadeau and RJ handle it, obviously being a little shorter, Armando being a little more, for a center being shorter. I think all those guys have enough experience that won't bother them much, but they play hard, they're athletic, they're long. We're going to have to be strong with the ball and make sure we get those rebounds.
Couple things, Dave. There is 2 things. One, Judah Mintz didn't start last game for Syracuse. That was due to violation of team rules. He did come in and play, and he is expected to start today per Coach Autry. There has been a significant injury for Syracuse. Naheem McLeod, 7'4" junior, who's a Florida State transfer. McLeod is battling a foot problem, is not expected to go today. We'll double-check that, but don't expect to see him. He missed last game, and his availability for the long run is in question right now
for Syracuse. So Malik Brown has stepped in for Naheem McLeod, and man, he's been really good. He's coming off a real quality game in his first start earlier this week against BC. He had 19 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 4 steals. So he is feeling good about the way he played in his first start. And Syracuse leads the league in both steals and blocks. And, in fact, they're near the top of the country in steals. They're 19 in the nation. They average almost 10 steals per game, even no longer playing that zone. So Carolina's got to be strong with the ball for sure this afternoon.
Some big concerns here for Carolina with Syracuse in the building. Again, the tip-off coming your way just after noon. We've got a little Q&A with Tyler Zeller and Adam Lucas after our next timeout. And then Jones begins part 1 of his 2-part conversation with Coach Davis inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. You're listening to the Reed's Jewelers pregame show from Learfield. Today's pregame show is brought to you by Reed's Jewelers. The official Reed's Jewelers tip-off time is 12:01. Reed's Jewelers, your home for fine Swiss timepieces, beautiful diamonds, and the world's most luxurious jewelry brands. That's Reed's Jewelers, trusted with life's moments. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers or Reeds.com. Let's get to a little Carolina Q&A. And our first question from Ryan Hall has Tyler Zeller's name on it. Z, Syracuse plays differently now, but in your era, which, again, wasn't all that long ago, how did Roy Williams prepare the team to attack Jim Boeheim's zone defense?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that Coach Williams taught us was, one thing we practice against the zone most days, but when we're playing a team it's like Syracuse that played it every time, is really push the pace, try to get down, steal some layups, easy threes before they can set their zone, because their zone is extremely good. So, and then once we get in the zone, just get a lot of movement, get the ball. He always said at the ACC, which is right below the free throw line, and then be able to make plays from there.
Next question from Sean Lewis, and again, this kind of dovetails Adam into something that Z and I talked about earlier, where he said that in a noon game like this, if you get out in front early, you have a good chance to control the game. Sean wants to know how a noon start changes the way the players prepare.
I agree with whatever Z said. Just play that back. Whatever he said is 100% right. I mean, I think the challenge is that means pregame meals at 8 a.m. That is not normal college student eating time. That's not even college student be awake time. It's been interesting here the last year or two. There's been more talk about just what's the best way to schedule these types of things. Like Jeff Lebo, for example, a big believer that you should be done practicing 24 hours before you play a game. And so the Tar Heels have started to tweak their practice schedule to try to accommodate that. It's tough when the game's at noon.
And oh, by the way, some of the kids I knew that were awake at 8 o'clock hadn't been to sleep yet, so there are some stragglers out there.
That's enough telling all Tyler's stories. He doesn't want to have those go out on air.
We'll table those stories for a commercial break. In the meantime, let's send things over to Jones, who's with Coach Davis in the Continental Tire Coach's Corner, brought to you by Continental Tire. It's the smart choice in tires, and for a dealer near you, just go to ContinentalTire.com.
First of 2 meetings in the regular season between Carolina and Syracuse. First one comes today in the Smith Center. I'm inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner with the head coach of the Tar Heels, Hubert Davis. Coach, hard to believe, first time in nearly 5 decades that Syracuse is going to have a little different look after Jim Boeheim was the head coach for 47 years. Adrian Autry, longtime assistant, a player at Syracuse, now the head man of the Orange. What changes have you seen, if any, from Syracuse? I know there's a couple big ones, but what changes have you seen with Coach Autry compared to the long and successful tenure with Coach Boeheim?
In terms of personnel, not much change at all. Look at, they've got athleticism and size, toughness, guards that can get into the lane and penetrate and score, draw fouls, get to the free throw line, tremendous versatility. Yeah, the only time that they're playing their zone is out of bounds underneath defense, but guess who leads the league in steals? Syracuse again. And so they just do a great job of creating turnovers and allowing them to get into open court, and that's where they're really good on the offensive end.
Judah Mintz is one of the more gifted players in the ACC. What challenges does he present? How do you guys want to try and give him trouble today?
Well, I mean, he's their guy. On the offensive end, he just has the ability to create his own shot. He leads the league in free throw shooting attempts. And so he does a really good job of drawing fouls. And so the huge part for us is to keep him out of the lane, be able to defend him and defend him without fouling. He's also their team assist leader as well. And so he's their playmaker. So we've got to do different things to keep the ball out of his hands, mix up coverages so that he can get a rhythm out there on the offensive end.
Another challenge coming today for Carolina. Never stops in the ACC. It continues today in the Smith Center against Syracuse. Coach, as always, thank you for your time and best of luck.
Thanks, Jones. I appreciate it.
Harris Teeter is proud to assist its communities every day with their food and pharmacy needs. Harris Teeter is partnered with Carolina to present the Big Four Grocery Assist promotion. One lucky fan is chosen to win $5 in free groceries for every assist by each Big Four school every week. In turn, Harris Teeter will donate $10 for every assist throughout the season to the school's local food bank. Visit harristeeter.com and look for the Big Four Grocery Assist page to enter today. Our game today is presented by Harris Teeter as we welcome you back to business. And like so many standout basketball players from New York, Derek Phelps made the decision to play his college basketball in North Carolina for the Tar Heels. The point guard helped lead the program to a pair of Final Fours and the 1993 National Championship. His playing career took him all over the world. His coaching career has flourished on both coasts, but his memories of Carolina are never far away.
And I think the biggest thing for me, for sure, that I came in with 5 other guys, and it wasn't like one person comes in and I got to gel with the older guys on the team. And I came with Eric Montross, Brian Reese, at the time Clifford Rozier, and Pat Sullivan. Those are my 5 guys I came into the Carolina with, and we kind of gelled right away because it's us freshmen and we have to learn going against guys. And the seniors at the time was King Rice, Pete Chilcutt, and Rick Fox. So we had to come in and show what we can do to help the team win. And of course we was coming in as McDonald All-American and feel like, oh, we're gonna come in right in and just play. But with Coach Smith, man, you have to always earn your spot and earn your chance for playing time. So just in that standpoint, we gelled pretty quick and fast. And mixing in with George Lynch, for sure, Henrik Rodel, Kevin Salvadori, Matt Winstrom, those guys too, and they had a big class themselves too, so they was all gelled together. So it all got figured out by my junior year for sure. And of course, the one Lone Star, Donald Williams, was the only guy that came in as a freshman, so it got mixed up. He basically was part of our class, I feel like, because I had to put him under my wing for sure. Seeing like he was just the lone shark out there by himself. But we just gelled pretty well together, man. Like you said, it wasn't no big time star, but just the competing in practice every day, just knowing each other, going against each other. And by my junior year, it was like if one piece moved, the other piece moved right with it. Even when someone goes off script, we were so in tune and gelled together that we follow somebody. If George Lynch went off the script, everybody else figured it out. And that's how great of a team we were, that you couldn't, if one part of the chain fall off and go somewhere different, the other part of the chain will follow it. Yeah. And that's what made us so good and so in tune with each other, that I think we were just so in tune, man. It's just that I think that was the best team I played with ever in my basketball career.
Carolina Basketball is brought to you by Wells Fargo, official retail bank sponsor of Carolina Athletics. This is the Reed's Jewelers pregame show.
After a stretch of just one game in the Smith Center over a 42-day span, the Tar Heels are finally back in Chapel Hill, where they host Syracuse this afternoon, and I'm inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner alongside the head coach of the Tar Heels, Hubert Davis. Coach, did you need directions to find the Smith Center and your office here for this one?
I did. I put it on Google Maps and tried to figure out where the offices were and where our practice facility. It's been a long time since we've been back home, and it's been too long. But we're excited about running out of that tunnel and playing in front of our fans on that floor. And so it'll be a really good test for us against a Syracuse team that I think has won 7 out of their last 8 games and playing with confidence. But we're excited to be at home and ready to compete.
Coach, after the game on Wednesday, I asked you what you thought you had learned about your team over this road stretch, and you said you didn't feel like you learned a lot. So let me ask it in a different way. What did you like about what you saw from your group in that 3 games on the road in ACC action?
Just the composure and confidence of the group. You know, there were times where, obviously in any game, but, you know, on the road, you know, there's times where things aren't going well. You're not hitting your shots. Defensively, we're struggling, you know, and we were always able to hold it together. And we just continue to get stronger throughout the entire game. I just felt like in the second half, we just got better and better and better, and on both ends of the floor. And just defensively, we've identified for us to have success, we have to defend and rebound, and we're doing that really well over the last 4 games.
We've talked a fair amount about your depth and guys coming off the bench, and one of those is Jalen Washington, and it feels like he's really found a role that he's comfortable in and excelling in right now. What have you seen from Jalen as far as his growth and what he is contributing to the team?
Yeah, you know, he's really our best post defender, and he did a really good job on DJ Burns for NC State, that so much so that we didn't even have to double team him. I mean, he did a really good job of defending him without fouling, so he's a good defender. He's another rebounder, and because he's different than Armando, now we're starting to use him with Armando and having a big lineup, and to have a 5 that can finish around the basket, set screens, and shoot the ball from 3. That's just a huge benefit for us, and I'm so happy that Jalen is having a terrific season.
Just about ready to go for the 23rd meeting between Carolina and Syracuse. Thanks for joining us inside the Smith Center. Jones Angel, Tyler Zettler here courtside. We're joined by Ben Alexander, our chief network engineer. You've heard from Dave Nathan and Adam Lucas. John Essick back in the studio. Jody Zeugner helping us out with statistical work today as well. Let's get to the starting lineups presented by Coors Light. Coors Light made to chill, an official beer of the Tar Heels. We'll start with the visitors. Syracuse, very good, 11-4, 2-2 in ACC action. Adrian Autry scored more than 1,500 points in his playing career at Syracuse. He's now in his first season as the head coach, taking over after Jim Boeheim retired after 47 seasons as the head man of the Orange. The starting lineup starts with a transfer, Notre Dame transfer, J.J. Starling. He was All-ACC freshman team member last year. Sophomores from Baldwinsville, New York, averaging 11 points per game. Another All-ACC freshman team member from last year, Judah Mintz, 6'4 sophomore, Fort Washington, Maryland. He's Syracuse's leading scorer at better than 18 points. He's also their leading assist man at 4, leading stealer of the basketball at 2.5 per game as well. Justin Taylor, the third guard, 6'6 sophomore, originally from Charlottesville, Virginia. 61% of his shots are threes. He's shooting 32% from behind the arc. And the 2 big men for Syracuse, you have Malik Brown, the 6'8 sophomore, Culpeper, Virginia, making his second consecutive start in place of the 7'4 Naheem McLeod, who's hurt. Brown averaging 10 points and 6 rebounds. But in ACC action, Brown's averaging 17.5 points and 7 rebounds per game. And Chris Bell, 6'7 sophomore from Concord, California, averaging 11 points per game. He's a 36% shooter from behind the arc. Now for the Tar Heels, they come in ranked number 7 in the AP and coaches poll, 12-3 overall, 4-0 in conference action in first place. Currently, Hubert Davis in his 3rd year, guiding his alma mater. He has won better than 70% of his games as the head coach of the Tar Heels. Same 5 for Carolina. Elliot Cadeau, 6'1 freshman, West Orange, New Jersey, coming off a great game against State where he had 11 points and 6 assists. R.J. Davis, the ACC's leading scorer at better than 20 points per game. The senior is from White Plains, New York. Also, Cormac Ryan. Ryan, the graduate transfer from New York. New York started his career at Stanford for a season, then went to Notre Dame, now at Carolina. This will be his 101st collegiate start coming up this afternoon. Also for the Heels, Harrison Ingram coming off that career-high 19 rebounds against State, most ever for a Tar Heel player against the Pack. The junior is originally from Dallas, Texas, transferred from Stanford after last year. And Armando Bacot, who Dave told you just took place in a short ceremony on the floor. Phil Ford handing Armando a ceremonial basketball for scoring more than 2,000 points in his career. Bacot, the graduate student from Richmond, Virginia, leads the ACC in rebounding at nearly 11 per contest. He had just 5, though, last game, and no offensive rebounds. The 3 officials this evening, or this afternoon, Bert Smith, Tommy Morrissey, and Mark Schnurr will be the 3 calling the action. Let's get to the Duncan uniform report. Time to get back to buzzer beaters, bounce passes, and Duncan. Welcome back, Tar Heel fans. America runs on Duncan. Carolina in the home whites with Carolina blue numbers, letters, and trim. These are throwback unis tonight for this afternoon for Carolina. Back to the late 60s era. Syracuse in traffic cone orange with white numbers, letters, and trim, some navy blue mixed in the trim of the uniforms as well. These two teams have combined for more than 4,500 victories, 2 historical programs going at it today. Carolina has had a significant advantage since the Orange joined the ACC. Carolina has 12 wins to just 3 for Syracuse. So excited to be back in the Smith Center and excited you are here with us. Ball in the air. Bacot slaps it into the backcourt. Cadeau chases it down just before it gets into the Carolina bench action, and Carolina will have the ball first. Heels going right to left as we see it here courtside in the Smith Center. It is Cadeau on the right wing around a screen. Gets to the free throw line, now attacks the rim and scoops it home. He just weaved around, found the opening, and attacked.
Great re-screen by Bacot. Cadeau, good to see him get an early bucket. Hopefully he can continue that tonight.
Yeah, double figures for the 3rd time in his freshman season on Wednesday evening against NC State. J.J. Starling finds a cutting Chris Bell, pulls up at the free throw line, no good. Nothing but Harrison Ingram underneath for the rebound. Heels the other way, up 2-0. Cadeau stops at the left elbow. Wanted Bacot down low. Instead goes up high to Ingram. Now left sideline to Cormac Ryan. Ryan dribbles middle of the floor to Bacot. Right back to Ryan. And picked up his dribble. Got a reset. Still 13 on the shot clock as R.J. Davis has it now and backs up. Gets a big screen from Bacot. Over to Ingram. His left wing 3. Off the back iron. No. Bacot had it tipped out of his hands and into the hands of an Orange player. Mintz controls the rebound. Starling poked it away from Bacot when it looked like he was going to have an offensive rebound. Still 2-0 Carolina. Starling out to a teammate who misses the 3. That was Brown, Malik Brown, only taken 5 threes all year. Carolina thought they were going to have a transition 3. Davis didn't take it. Instead, he gave it to Cadeau. Misses the floater left of the lane. And then a foul on the rebound on Bacot, his first. Good recovery there by Syracuse because it looked like R.J. Davis was going to have a wide open 3 in transition. He had to hold off, reset the play, and ended up being a foul on Bacot on the rebound.
Tough foul on Bacot there. It looked like he just got tangled up. He was trying to get his arm out and ended up pulling down Brown.
So an early foul on Bacot. Score still 2-0 on that layup by Cadeau on the very first possession of the game. We're almost, not quite, 2 minutes into the action here in the Smith Center. Starling to Brown. Long pass goes left side to Bell. His challenge 3 is good. Bell, good shooter from out there at 36%. Cadeau challenged the shot. The Bell stripped the net to make it 3-2 Syracuse. Heels get it in the post to Bacot. Tipped away from behind, but it pinballs around to R.J. Davis. He'll get an open look at 3 out of it. Misses, and rebound tipped by Ryan, but into Chris Bell's hands for Syracuse.
A little lucky for Carolina there. That's what Syracuse does so well. They have a lot of deflections. They get their hand on a lot of those balls.
Starling trying to bully his way right of the lane. Has to send it back out. Ends up with Judah Mintz. Attacks on the left. Blocked by Bacot on the drive. Out of bounds. And it hit Mintz after Bacot blocked it. And so it will belong to the Tar Heels.
I'm not even sure Bacot jumped on that one. He just came right to his chest. It just went tall. 2 hands up in the air, and he shot it right into his hand.
Both teams just 1 of 4 from the floor. The only difference, Syracuse's make is a 3. Carolina's is a 2. Heels haven't scored in more than 2 minutes. 3-2 the score. Syracuse with the early 1-point advantage. Both teams struggling a bit here to get baskets to drop. Harrison Ingram on the perimeter for Carolina, looking for Baycott, but he was being doubled, so he sends it out to R.J. Davis. Ooh, nice crossover to get through traffic, and he is fouled on the floor. But that was some really fancy ball handling by Davis to work through some defenders, and Judah Mintz picks up the foul.
Great job by R.J. just taking what they gave him. The help side there fouled him, but he should have had a layup after that.
17-17 to go first half. Still 3-2 Syracuse, just getting going in at the Smith Center. Ball ends up in the right corner to Cormac Ryan. Wide open for three off the back iron. No. Baycott, the offensive rebound, puts it to the deck. Now puts it in the hoop.
There we go. Armando getting going early here. Battling on the boards. He's got his hands on about 3 or 4 rebounds there, but finally was able to secure one.
So 4-3 the score. Cadeau defending nicely against Starling. Ends up at the free throw line. Taylor misses the jump shot. Carolina the other way. After the rebound, I believe it was Baycott who secured it again. A trailing Ingram has it top of the key. Floats the pass down low to Baycott. Quickly goes up and scores.
That's what Carolina's been looking for. We got 4 guys out. Armando's in, and Brown's been trying to front him every time. Every other play, Syracuse has done a great job on the backside of not letting him throw it over, but we were able to sneak one in there.
Brown had gotten tangled up with some camera people. That's why there was a quick break there after Baycott's basket. It's 6-3. Now Syracuse heading the other way. Judah Mintz weaving through traffic. He slips and falls and loses the basketball. Baycott, long outlet pass. Cormac Ryan, he's going to get fouled at the rim by Starling. Ryan almost was able to get that layup to go. Starling hacked him just to keep the basket from dropping in, and that'll earn 2 free throws for Cormac Ryan.
And RJ doing a great job there. He was running, got ahead of him, and he actually slowed up a little bit, trying to give Ryan a little more time. But really good to see Armando tonight being active early. Offensive boards, he's been active. Defensively, he's getting those rebounds. After NC State, when he was battling with Burns, he wasn't able to get all those. So good to see him active early in this game.
Rare miss from Cormac Ryan. That's just his 4th miss of the season. He came in at 91.2% from the free throw line. That first one was too strong. Baycott's going to get a breather, and Jalen Washington is going to come in here early for Carolina. Baycott looked a little winded. He had been going hard for those first 3:35. Second one from Ryan. Have to assume that's dropping home, and it does, as he strips the net to make it 7-3. Carolina denying in the backcourt. Syracuse having trouble, and they force the turnover. Ryan gets the steal in the easy bucket.
Great job by Carolina. Just a little man-to-man pressure. Doubling Mintz, trying to keep it out of his hands.
That makes it 9-3. Syracuse is frustrated right now. Mintz in particular, frustrated with his teammates and the Tar Heels with the pressure they're providing. Starling drives front side. Washington can't get the block. Nice job by the Notre Dame transfer, slowing the Tar Heel momentum. It's 9-5. Carolina gets it down low on the block to Ingram. Faces up on the right baseline. Now he's into the paint. Spins by Taylor. Goes off the window for the easy 2.
Ingram so good with that right hand in the post up. Able to get back to it right off the glass.
11-5. Carolina by 6. Seth Trimble at the scorer's table for Carolina. Taylor tries to drive by Ingram. Goes backdoor to Mintz. Can't finish. Rebound tipped twice in the second tip by Malik Brown. Drops it home. Boy, Carolina already on the offensive side. Up 4, 11-7. Ingram whips it to Ryan on the left side. Jab step. Drive. Ryan looping pass to Washington, who gets the layup to drop.
Great play by Ryan. I'm not even sure how the pass got there. Jalen was able to secure the pass and go up with it strong.
He wrapped it around the defender for the easy layup as Carolina's made its last 5 shots. Taylor trying to drive against Ingram, cut off. Out to Brown. Now it goes left side to Bell. Cormac Ryan right there on the catch. Ryan, really good defense. Bell fell down but was able to get the ball to Starling before he traveled. Starling tries to drive against R.J. Davis. Into the paint is fall away from the ACC logo. Guarded and no good. Jalen Washington the rebound. Heels up 6 and on the move. Left side, R.J. Davis. Stops on the wing, kicks it back to Cadeau. Now to Ingram. He'll whip it right side to Ryan. In the post to Jalen Washington. Faces up. Brings the ball down. Lost it for a moment. Had it tipped away. Somehow R.J. Davis ends up with it and draws the foul. I'm not sure that was how the Heels drew it up, but it's going to end up with a great free throw shooter going to the stripe. When we return, the foul, let's wait for Bert Smith to tell us, is on Malik Brown of Syracuse, his first and third on the Orange. So R.J. Davis to the line for 2 shots when we come back. 14:36 to go first half. Carolina 13, Syracuse 7. Star Heel basketball from Learfield. 14 minutes, 36 seconds to play first half. Carolina 13, Syracuse 7. Tar Heels have scored on 6 straight possessions. 12 of their 13 points are in the paint. The other is a Cormac Ryan free throw. So a good start for the Heels. They lead it 13-7 over Syracuse with R.J. Davis going to the free throw line when action resumes. Our game is presented today by Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter, proud to assist its communities every day with their food and pharmacy needs. Harris Teeter has partnered with Carolina to present the Big Four Grocery Assist promotion, where one lucky fan is chosen to win $5 in free groceries for every assist by each Big Four school every week. In turn, Harris Teeter will donate $10 for every assist throughout the season to the schools. Think about that, $10 for every assist throughout the season to the local food bank for the school. Visit harristeeter.com and look for the Big Four Grocery Assist page to enter. Thank you, Harris Teeter, so much for your support of our communities and of Carolina basketball. Also brought to you in part tonight by Allen Tate Realtors. Whether you're buying, selling, relocating, or seeking financing or insurance, Allen Tate can help. Allen Tate Realtors is the #1 realtor in the Carolinas with more than 70 local offices and is a proud partner of Carolina Athletics. So R.J. Davis at the line for 2 shots. He'll be on the floor with Trimble, Ryan, Ingram, and Washington. First free throw from R.J. Davis is good, his first point. So now every Tar Heel that has played has scored except for Seth Trimble, and he just came in, so he'll have an opportunity here in a moment. And it's 14-7.
So far, a great start. Really pushing the pace fast. Good to see him pushing as fast as they are. Little man-to-man pressure here, what we were able to create a turnover with earlier.
The ribbon boards here in the Smith Center are like freaking out and blinking out. They started doing it right when R.J. Davis was shooting the free throw. I was worried it might distract him.
Yeah, that'd be tough to shoot with.
And a turnover, as Syracuse had pushed the ball into the right corner. Judah Mintz tried to drive and stepped out of bounds. There is also a sub. Quadir Copeland has come in for the first time, as has Benny Williams for Syracuse. Ingram has it for Carolina, so that turnover for the Orange gives it to the Heels. Carolina leads by 8, 15-7. Ingram going to back in on the left side against Benny Williams. 2 physical guys going at it. Ingram spins over his opposite shoulder, misses the left-handed hook. Jalen Washington, though, rips the rebound away from Malik Brown and scores.
Great job, Jalen, just getting in there and battling for that rebound. They forced Ingram to his left hand, and Jalen was able to come across and get the rebound.
Carolina they have asked Washington, get a little mean streak, get a little tough out there. And boy, he did it right there, and he plays good defense, forces the pitch out to Quadir Copeland, and Ryan just got a little handsy on Copeland as he was driving, got both his hands on Copeland's chest, and is going to pick up the personal, his first. Second on Carolina. Baycott has one as well. And speaking of Baycott, he will re-enter. Good minutes there from Jalen Washington and Cormac Ryan. Both those guys played well here early. They will both sit as Withers and Baycott come into the action.
Yeah, good to see Jalen playing hard and playing that physical.
Heels up 17-7. Tough shot by Judah Mintz. Spins out. A mid-range that was defended well by Trimble.
Great defense by Trimble. Really hard challenge.
Carolina the other way. Baycott trailing the play, gets it top of the key to Trimble. Now to Withers in the post. One-on-one with Starling. That's a size advantage for Withers. He goes right past him and gets the roll on the little push shot.
And that was an emphasis yesterday for Coach Davis with Withers. Just really pushing it, trying to get him the ball in the post and make a play.
19-7. Carolina on an 8-0 run. Now leads it by 12. Trimble just won't let Mintz do anything. He has to push it away to Malik Brown outside the arc. Handoff to Quadir Copeland. Copeland thought about the step-back 3 on the left wing, didn't take it. Instead sends it out to Benny Williams, and Benny Williams going to draw the foul on Harrison Ingram. Going to be a question is it on the floor or shooting? And Bert Smith says it was a shooting foul. So Ingram, his first foul, third on Carolina, as Paxton Wojcik's going to check in here in a moment. And that will send Benny Williams to the line for 2 shots. Williams, Jr., started 24 games last year for Syracuse. He's only played, this is now his 12th out of the 16 games that Syracuse has played this season. So he's taken a step back as far as his role, but still playing well when he's out there. Had a big game against Pitt a couple games ago, 15 points, 7 rebounds. Makes that free throw there to make it 19-8.
And Carolina's defense here has been pretty interesting. So far they had Cadeau on Mintz, who is by far their best player. Trimble on him now, and they're not helping off of him. Trimble last possession about Chase Mintz to half court, and just basically played 4-on-4 on the backside.
Second free throw was no good, but Quadir Copeland knocked the rebound out of Baycott's hands off of Baycott. So Syracuse going to have possession, but they turn it over on the inbound. R.J. Davis with the steal, and he draws the foul in transition. He made the basket, but the foul was called on the floor before the shot was taken. The foul's on Starling. That's 2 on the Notre Dame transfer. He becomes the first player for either team with 2 fouls. That will prompt a sub as Kyle Cuff Jr., a transfer from Kansas, is going to enter the game, and Starling will have to sit down. Cuff, a redshirt sophomore, redshirted in 22 for Kansas and then played 2 games last year before getting hurt. Trimble, quick inbounds in the corner to Baycott, pushes it up to Davis. Syracuse.
2-3 zone here from
in that
Syracuse.
zone that, of course, they're so familiar with in recent years, but not this year. And it forces a turnover as Trimble.
Brown knocked it away as they tried to force it into Armando on the inside there.
Yeah, Trimble tried to get it to Baycott, and it was tipped away. Good defense by R.J. Davis on Mintz. He's able to find Quadir Copeland, though, and another foul. This one's on Wojcik. So
this is similar to what we did at NC State. We're fouling a lot on jump shots, giving a lot of free throws. So something we really got to try to clean up early here. Late in that game, we did a much better job on it. But Mintz did a great job there hitting Copeland on the back door. And really a tough shot from 8 feet. If we let him go, we may or may not make it, but it's going to be hard to make.
He does make the first free throw. Iron backboard and in. Second one is up, and that's good too. So it's 19-10. The scoreboards and video boards are out here in the Smith Center as another turnover. R.J. Davis tried to pocket pass to Baycott, taken away. Quadir Copeland in transition. A looping, wild layup won't go. Cuff had the rebound, couldn't get the offensive stick back to go, and then Cuff fouls Jalen Withers just poking at the basketball after Withers had gotten the board. So the first foul on Cuff, Z. That's 5 on Syracuse. Carolina back-to-back turnovers. Will try and have a cleaner possession here.
Yeah, I think Brown's doing a great job for Syracuse right now, getting their hands on a lot of those balls. I think he's had 3 deflections and 3 possessions. So we're going to have to be a little more careful on that pick-and-roll pass and just try to clean it up a little bit.
Those were the first 2 turnovers of the game for Carolina, but they've come on back-to-back possessions. With the Heels up 19-10. R.J. Davis around a screen. He's going to pull up for 3. It is too strong. It looked too strong right when he shot it. He sailed it over the rim, and it hit the left side of the backboard.
Don't see R.J. do that much.
Mintz on the drive, blocked by Baycott, and the ball goes to Jalen Withers. Withers ahead to Seth Trimble. Carolina has numbers. Kicks it in the corner left to Wojcik. Way short on his 3. Rebound tipped away from Syracuse by Trimble, but back into the hands of Kyle Cuff. Carolina, as a foul in transition, is going to be called on the Heels. Carolina 0 of 5 from 3, 8 of 10 from 2-point range. As another foul, that's on Wojcik again, his second. And there have now been 10 fouls called in this game, 5 on each team. And that means free throws may be coming soon. Not on this one, though. Syracuse will have it after the break. 11:35 to play first half. Carolina has led by as many as 12, currently leading by 9. 19-10 our scores. Tar Heel basketball from Learfield.
All the action, all season long. This is Carolina basketball.
19-10, Carolina with the lead. 11:35 to go first half. Carolina basketball brought to you in part by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, official health insurance partner of Carolina Athletics, which believes an inclusive community is a healthy community. Here for the Tar Heels, here for all. Couple of these Lenovo stats brought to you by Lenovo, smarter technology for all. Z, a couple that stand out. The points in the paint, Carolina 16-4. So you would think Heels want to go there. They're 0 of 5 from 3. So those two things together tell you where the success has come offensively for Carolina. Syracuse just 3 of 14 shooting. So the defense has been good. They've missed 5 straight shots as a part of that. And you mentioned during the break the pace. Carolina's really pushing the pace well here early.
Yeah, I really think we're just trying to. They don't play a lot of people. They're playing more tonight, but usually play 7 people predominantly. So we're really trying to push that pace, wear them down a little bit. We just need to settle in and stop taking so many quick threes. Not that those threes were bad, just I feel like we can get a better shot, especially in the paint.
Cadeau is back in, so it's Cadeau, Davis, Trimble. So the 3 guards, Withers and Baycott. That's the 5 on the floor for Carolina. Tar Heels led by 12 at one point, currently up by 9. Inbounds, Judah Mintz thought about the three, didn't take it. Instead, he'll drive in and kick it out to Cuff, who misses the triple, and then Withers with another strong rebound. Pushes it ahead to Trimble. Cuff was right there on the catch, tried to draw the charge, no whistle. Trimble out to Cadeau. Extra pass to R.J. Davis. Wide open for three and knocks it home.
And as I say that, R.J. shoots a wide open three. Great look. Cadeau did a great job getting downhill and hitting him.
Yeah, that was made by Cadeau on the penetration and pitch. That gave R.J. a wide open look, and more often than not, he's knocking that down. 22-10, Heels up 12. Mintz on the right wing, drives against Cadeau, pulls up and banks it home. Tough shot by Mintz. He can do that. He can really make some difficult shots as he gets his first bucket to make it 22-12.
Coach Davis mad at Cadeau for letting him catch it.
R.J. Davis on the left wing. On the baseline, passes it to Withers. Gets deep, fires it in the corner right to Trimble. He'll drive, had the air traffic wide open because Baycott cleared the road, so he soared to the rim and laid it home.
He did. I really thought somebody was going to come challenge, but Baycott did a great job holding his man on his back, so there's nobody there.
24-12, Quadir Copeland finds new player in for Syracuse, Hema, and he misses the little push shot from right in front of the rim. Monir Hema, a junior from Niger originally, has checked in and missed that shot. It's just his 5th game of the season. Cadeau, pocket pass to Withers, and he's fouled, driving right in the lane. Boy, that was a nice pass by Cadeau to the cutting Withers. Foul is on Hema, his first, and 6 on Syracuse. So, Monir Hema, that junior transfer from Duquesne, that's another thing with Naheem McLeod, who's a normal starter for Syracuse, out. Hema, who's only played 19 total minutes this year, has checked in, missed the shot, drew a foul. Brown is crouched right in front of us, about to check back in for the Orange, as Withers' first free throw is good.
Yeah, Hema just doesn't quite look comfortable yet. They're trying to get some minutes spin for him, but Brown's got to get a break at some point. So, be interesting how they do with Brown back in here. He's been so active and really disrupted a lot of our offense.
Ryan back in, and R.J. Davis will get his first breather for Carolina as Withers makes both free throws. Well, Withers has 4 points now and 3 rebounds.
And Withers has been good. He's been very active, had a couple blocks after fouls, but rebounds and playing well. So good to see him playing well again.
He's going to get a breather. Hubert Davis actually hugged him as he was going to the bench to just let him know what a nice couple minutes he had provided as Ingram checks back in for Carolina. We'll set the 5 for you. We can tell you it's Cadeau, Trimble, Ryan, Ingram, and Baycott as Benny Williams misses a mid-range 2. Strong rebound by Ingram as he rips it down. Heels up 26-12 and on the move. Cadeau front side to a trailing Ingram. Extra pass left side to Ryan. Tries to get it down low to Baycott. Does on the low left block. Baycott spins by Brown. Goes up and under and scores.
Great move by Armando. Great patience. He waited for Ryan to clear. And then made a quick move.
28-12. Heels with their largest lead of 16. A switch has Baycott guarding Mintz out on the perimeter. Mintz tries to drive by him, pulls up for 3. Oh, they're going to call the foul on Baycott for challenging the 3. Even Mintz has a wry smile on his face on that one. Baycott frustrated with the whistle as Bert Smith calls the second foul on Baycott. So now Wojcik and Baycott each have 2 fouls.
And Armando fouled him. It's a tough one. Mintz has a shooting for him where he kind of follows through, brought his hand down right into Baycott. So kind of a non-traditional shooting for him, but he fouled him at the end of the day.
Bert Smith, a veteran official, as Mintz comes up short on the free throw, brings Baycott over to him to say something to him.
I don't think he was happy with his reaction after the foul. So
Hubert Davis is trying to be a mediator here on this conversation as now Baycott will sit down and Washington comes in after Mintz does make the second of the 3 free throws. So Mintz missed the first, made the second. It's 28-13 with another free throw coming.
It's great now having Jalen Washington playing as well as he is. Baycott being in foul trouble isn't as big of a deal as it was early in the season.
So Mintz goes 2 of 3 as he makes the second and third free throws. 28-14. Ryan to Cadeau. He had a great idea to pass it to Jalen Washington, who didn't see it. It hit Jalen in the back, but then it rolls over the baseline after it hit an Orange player. Jalen didn't anticipate the pass.
I think Jalen thought Cadeau was going to shoot it, and he actually was looking for the rebound, and Cadeau ended up throwing it to him right off his back.
Carolina ends up getting lucky, though, bouncing off Washington and then bouncing off an Orange player and over the baseline. So 28-14 Carolina with 9:22 to go. Not sure why there is
a little delay here, but Orange there, they were trying to collected on the baseline there and just happened to roll out.
I think the clock is the issue, the shot clock, because Syracuse never possessed the basketball, so the shot clock should not have reset, which it is currently has reset to 30. Now they're putting it to 20.
They do have the scoreboard back up and working. It's not flashing white anymore, so good to see that.
Yeah, that's right. Got at least got the boards back up and running. All right, so they put 20 on the shot clock, 9:22 on the game clock. Long inbounds goes to Cormac Ryan. Wanted to step into a three, but couldn't do it. Syracuse in a zone, which we've seen some from them. As Cadeau going to get an open look from three. It was online but short. Rebound punched around a bit, but it belongs to the Orange. 28-14, Carolina by 14. Mintz, the other direction for Syracuse. Wraps around a screen. An awkward-looking jump shot, no good. Rebound ripped down by Ingram. Ingram on his own dribble front side to Ryan on the right wing. Extra pass right corner to Trimble. Open look for three is good.
Great look by Trimble. 2-3 passes there around the perimeter, and Trimble open in the corner, able to knock down a high-quality shot.
He's now 8 of 13 from three this year. Just picking his spots, taking good threes as Carolina gets a steal. It was Trimble. 31-14 the score. Trimble the other way. There was big contact as he went up for a shot. No whistle. That's going to turn into a run-out dunk by Mintz on the other side. Everybody stopped, assuming there was going to be a foul call as Trimble had been wiped out. Ball goes front side to Trimble. Now to Washington. Kicks it in the corner left to Ingram. He'll try a triple. Yes!
There we go. Good to see Carolina hitting some threes, but really coming from passing the ball in the paint and kicking it out.
34-16 on Ingram's three, and that will be a timeout, Syracuse, which will stretch to a full. 8:14 to go, first half in the Smith Center. Tar Heels shooting 62% from the floor. Syracuse, meanwhile, is 5 of 20, 25%. Just hearing those Lenovo stats, you can probably guess what that North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard looks like. Brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what they do best. 34-16 Carolina. 8:14 to go, first half from Learfield. Carolina 34, Syracuse 16. Tar Heels with the 18-point lead on the strength of just good basketball, really. Tar Heels 13 of 21 from the floor. They've hit 3 3-pointers, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, Syracuse is just 5 of 20, 1 of 3 from 3. Those Lenovo stats brought to you by Lenovo, global technology leader that has called North Carolina home since 2005. Visit Lenovo.com. Lenovo, smarter technology for all. We're brought to you in part by the Good Feet store. If you have foot, knee, hip, or back pain, Good Feet Arch Supports are engineered to support all 4 arches to provide pain relief, balance, and comfort. Try them for yourself. Book your free fitting today at goodfeet.com. Would you like to hear some more ads? Let me remind you that basketball camps are back. Young men who will be in 6th or 7th grade during the 24-25 school year can apply for a scholarship through their local electric cooperative to attend the UNC basketball school this June. Apply online at ncelectriccooperatives.com/sports camps. North Carolina's electric cooperatives, building a brighter future for people and communities across the Tar Heel state. Z, this has been an impressive 12 minutes or so here from Carolina.
It really has. You know, early in the game, we start out in the paint. We start 0-5 for the 3, and then we kind of built on that. We got back to attacking the paint, and Syracuse was collapsing on the paint. We hit out and hit some high-quality shots, able to knock down 3 out of 4 from there.
Heels have Cadeau, Trimble, Ryan, Ingram, and Washington. Baycut on the bench with 2 fouls. He's played well. But on the bench with the 2-point, Trimble is just eating Copeland's lunch. He dives for the ball after he tipped it away. He's on the sideline, so it's going to stay with the Orange. But what effort defensively by Trimble.
The energy from our team today is just unbelievable. I think everybody's playing well. Trimble there he couldn't even get the ball off the floor.
R.J. Davis has been on the bench for a little bit as well for Carolina. Of course, that's a luxury you have up 18 in the first half. You can maybe give as there's a turnover by Syracuse. Malik Brown traveling, trying to make his move. Tar Heel defense right now is swarming the Orange.
16 points and you're 12 minutes in is just awesome. You know, really we can keep them under 60 like we've been doing. It means 30 by half. We're right on pace for it.
That's 6 turnovers, so 25% shooting and 6 turnovers for Syracuse. The Orange in the 2-3 zone, which again is not their primary defense this year like it has been in the past. Cadeau drives right through the middle of it and gets it to Ingram for the easy finger roll.
A great little pass fake, and that zone just split wide open for him, drove around right down the middle. The center stepped up, and he threw it past him.
Boy, Cadeau has looked so comfortable this last game and a half or so. Not that he hasn't all year, but particularly here as of late as Syracuse turns it over again. Errant pass taken away by Jalen Washington. Seth Trimble will start the break, finds a trailing Cadeau on the left wing. Right back to Trimble. Open look for three, little short from the right wing, and the rebound will carry him out of bounds. Good look, just came up short as Mintz will return for the Orange, and Quadir Copeland sits down. 36-16, Carolina by 20. 7:13 to go in the first half.
And really, I think the biggest thing Cadeau's doing, he just simplified the game for himself. He's not trying to over-penetrate. Even there, he just kind of little pass fake and threw it to Trimble for the shot.
Trimble is all on Mintz this time. A switch has Washington guarding Mintz now. Sends it out to Chris Bell. Nice crossover to get to the ACC logo. His shot is blocked by Washington, but a foul is called.
That's one of those fouls. It's a tough foul on Jalen Washington. He actually was guarding Mintz on the perimeter. In the right spot, challenged well, but it's always hard when a guard puts the ball right in your face not to want to hit it and just reach down and hit his arm.
So Bell is going to get a couple free throws. Syracuse has taken 7 free throws so far. They're 5 of 7. Heels are 5 of 6 from the line. Bell has only taken 8 free throws all year. He's 4 of 8. Now he's 5 of 9, rattling that one. And what great minutes for Trimble. He's going to get a big round of applause as he gets a breather with R.J. Davis coming in. Also, Withers will replace Washington. So we saw this some in Raleigh on Wednesday when Carolina had to go smaller with Baycott and Washington and some foul issues, having Withers come in to play the 5. And he will enter to do that now as both free throws good by Bell. Bell has 5. Mintz with 6, Bell with 5, leading the Syracuse scoring. Ingram has 7 to pace Carolina. 36-18, a quick 3 taken. I think it was Cormac Ryan, and no good. The rebound slipped through the hands of Jalen Withers and belongs to the Orange. So 36-18, Mintz will pull up, and no good from 3. Withers and Ingram try to each call each other off for the rebound. They're laughing as they come front side. It ended up belonging to Ingram. Cadeau drives hard on the left, kicks it out to R.J. Davis. Davis penetrates hard from the right. His floater is good. That is just beautiful offense.
That is a hard shot over a big there. Nice little one dribble floater, but very difficult shot from RJ.
38-18. Let me get that right for you as RJ Davis knocks it away. To the floor dives Cormac Ryan to save the loose ball. To Withers. Back to RJ Davis. Whips it to Withers, and
no foul.
No foul in transition as Withers took contact at the rim. Hubert Davis asking where the whistle was, but Syracuse has the ball right now. Judah Mintz. Step through, right of the lane, has the double clutch, no good, and the rebound to Carolina. The Heels are suffocating Syracuse right now.
Mintz cannot get comfortably. Double clutch that shot.
Boy, what a pass. Cadeau to R.J. Davis. You had to make that one. The pass was too pretty for it not to go in.
Awesome play by Cadeau heading across. R.J. shot fake, one dribble, in place, basically get his rhythm and knock it down.
Boy, just a wild 3 by Taylor. 41-18. Carolina with the rebound and on the run. Ryan. Coast to coast draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line. Didn't get the bucket, but drew the foul on Starling, which is his 3rd. And Syracuse is arguing with one another and frustrated with how this game has gone. It has been all Tar Heels so far.
And coach is not happy over there. He's looked at his bench, told I don't know how many people are coming in, 2, 3, 4 people. So Carolina doing a great job of frustrating him and just pushing the pace. Their defense is extremely hard to score on right now. So
there seems to be some confusion about whether or not.
I thought it was the under 8-minute timeout, but
no, we've already had that. But Adrian Autry, I think, tried to call a timeout after R.J. Davis's last 3.
Okay,
and then it was not. And either it didn't get seen, nobody granted it, and so I think his team thought this was a timeout. So both teams had gone to the bench area. Sorry, Zay, I'm throwing my pen and Z back. So now everybody's back out there. So Cormac Ryan going to the line for 2 shots. And again, that foul was on Starling, and that's his 3rd. As Ryan makes the free throw, it is the 7th team foul on Syracuse. So Carolina will be in the bonus, as is the Orange, the rest of the half. But that was a shooting foul, so Ryan's going to get 2 shots regardless. 42-18. Zayden High has come to the scorer's table for Carolina. Looks like he'll replace Ryan if Cormac makes this free throw.
And we're going small, obviously, with Jalen, Washington, and Armando in foul trouble, but it really helps us a lot. We're able to switch 1 through 5. They don't have a primary post-up player, so not as big of a deal tonight. Again, full court, man-to-man, denying Mintz the ball.
Full court pressure forces Syracuse a long inbounds to Cuff late in the 5-second count. So with both free throws good, it's now 43-18 as Benny Williams tries a long 2, and it caroms over the backboard. So Syracuse is now 5 of 24 from the floor. That is just under 21%. Carolina is 16 of 27, better than 59%. 5 on the floor, Cadeau, Davis, Withers, Ingram, and High. So an unusual 5 out here for the Heels against the zone look from Syracuse. Cadeau between the circles, left side to Davis, right back to Cadeau. He'll pitch it over to Ingram on the right. Dumps it in the post to High. Double team comes out to Ingram. Good look at 3 is short. Rebound caroms to Cuff. Tar Heels didn't get much going that offensive possession as Cuff loses the ball in transition. 2 bodies to the floor. Ends up to Ingram. He's going to get the run out. Misses it. But Withers is there to clean it up. And Ingram just laughing as he comes down. He missed the wide open layup. But Ingram was only joined by Withers for the easy putback.
Ingram's going to hear about that one later.
45-18, Mintz on the drive and pitch. 3-pointer good from the right corner by Chris Bell.
And that's what Mintz is so good at, getting in the lane and making plays for others.
45-21, R.J. Davis drives on the right, sends it out to Withers. Extra pass to Cadeau. Cadeau, long pass in the corner left to Ingram. Out to R.J. Davis. What ball movement. Back out to Withers. Withers going to penetrate. Had the ball tipped away. Here comes Syracuse the other way. Long pitch ahead to Mintz, and good body control for the finish.
And Brown for Syracuse getting his hand on another, getting a deflection there and creating their opportunity on the run out.
Tar Heels turn it over. Ingram was trying. Well, the ball had not gone into the backboard. They've called it over and back. Ingram had bounced it, which it was bouncing into the backboard. It was going to be an over and back, but a Syracuse player, Cuff, dove on the ball before it had gone into the backcourt. So the officials are going to talk about, I'm not sure how that could be over and back. I think it was going to be a turnover anyway, but as it stands, it's Syracuse's ball. We'll wait and see. Largest lead has been 27. Syracuse has scored 5 straight to cut Carolina's advantage to 22 right now. 45-23 our score, 3:47 to play first half from Learfield. Carolina 45, Syracuse 23. They have held the call of a backcourt violation and a turnover on the Tar Heels, which will be their 5th. So it will be Syracuse ball when action resumes. Syracuse has turned it over 9 times. Heels have 7 assists on 17 made field goals. And Harris Teeter is assisting you with groceries this basketball season. Each week, one winner will receive free groceries for every assist. Visit harristeeter.com and look for the Big 4 grocery assist page to enter today. R.J. Davis, by the way, 2 3-pointers made today for a team high, part of his team high 10 points. Those 2 threes means that R.J. has made 2 or more 3-pointers in 13 consecutive games. The Carolina record is 15. That was Justin Jackson in the national championship season of 2017. So Davis now at 13. 2 games behind Justin Jackson for that school record. Some other stats presented by Lenovo. Individually, Davis the leading scorer with 10 points. Ingram 7 points, 5 rebounds. Baycott, who's only played 8 minutes with 2 fouls, has 6 points and 4 boards as well. Withers has 6 points and 4 rebounds. 5 points for Seth Trimble, 4 for Jalen Washington. Cadeau has 2. Cormac Ryan has 5. So a lot of different Tar Heels have been getting involved in the, not just the scoring category, in all the categories. Heels will have Davis, Ryan, Withers, High, and Ingram as the 5 on the floor. Syracuse has scored 5 straight to cut Carolina's 27-point lead to 22. Still 45-23 Carolina. Bell, pump fake, gets Ingram in the air, drives, challenged by High, and Bell's going to get some free throws. But that started with Ingram biting on the pump fake and flying by him. High went over to help. And Bell will have a chance to extend this little mini run for Syracuse at the line.
Yeah, Carolina defense there. Basically, we're denying the ball to Mintz, who Mintz is Syracuse's best creator, scorer, everything. So Syracuse is really trying to figure out where they want the ball, how they want to get there. But Ingram stays down there like he usually does. They don't even have an opportunity to score there.
Bell makes the free throw. He now has 9 points, so he's one more free throw will be in double figures for the 8th time. And he will have made as many free throws this game as he had all season. He'd been 4 of 8 on the year. If he makes this one, which he does, he's now 4 of 4 today. So he has 10. It's now a 7-0 run for Syracuse. Back to a 20-point game at 45-25. Still Carolina in control, but the Orange with its best push of the day. High's going to try a corner three from the left. No good. Rebound lost out of bounds, though, by Syracuse. And see this zone, which, again, is not Syracuse's main defense anymore, but it's been effective here this afternoon.
It's been extremely effective against us. It's kept us out of the lane. We're not able to get downhill. And really, I think a lot of ways we're up 20 and we're settling for shots. We got to start being more aggressive and attacking the zone.
Ingram gets it inbounds in the corner to Withers, tipped it to High at the elbow, tried to get it right back to Ingram, who had stepped in after inbounding it, and it got knocked out of bounds again by the Orange. So Carolina will reset.
First time we've thrown it inside the three-point line about 3 or 4 possessions, though, so good to see that. Just need to clean it up.
Again, the inbounds goes to Withers, to High. Cormac Ryan in the left corner to Ingram. His wide-open three is short. Ryan in a wrestling match for the rebound. It will be a jump ball, and it'll belong to the Orange. So it's a 7-0 run. Here comes Jalen Washington back into the game. He'll try and slow this run down, or help slow this run down for the Orange. Carolina led 20 by 27 at 45-18. That was that play where Ingram missed the easy layup, and then Withers cleaned it up. Since then, it's been 7-0 Syracuse, as Carolina maybe relaxing a bit with this big lead and 3 minutes to go first half. Cuff to Malik Brown. Passes over to Benny Williams. Very flat on the three and tipped the bottom portion of the rim. Carolina with the uncontested rebound. Heels the other way, R.J. Davis. Sends it middle of the floor to Jalen Withers. Right back to Davis on the left side. Again, Syracuse in the zone. Pitches it on the right to Cormac Ryan, to the free throw line to Jalen Washington. Tried to fire it back door, and it was kicked on the pass. Trimble will enter, and Withers will exit. So with 2:41 to go, 20 on the shot clock, Heels will have Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Ingram, and and Washington on the floor. Inbounds goes to Jalen Washington. He'll pitch it up the right side to Davis. Around the perimeter, ends up in the left corner to Trimble. Oh, my gracious, soars to the rim. Can't finish. Rebound tipped around and belongs to Syracuse. What a play by Trimble. He did everything but finish.
Great attack by Trimble. Just got to make the layup.
Judah Mintz, other way for Syracuse. Gets to the ACC logo and hits the shot. So Mintz, it's now a 9-0 Syracuse run, and they're within 18.
We just got to figure the zone out. Relax a little bit, get into what we want to. Things are a little more difficult right now.
R.J. Davis in the half court for Carolina. Crosses over to get by Mintz. His runner is no good, but there's a foul on the rebound as Jalen Washington got undercut as he was going for the board.
Really, really good drive by R.J. Shooting a left-handed floater, which we don't see him shoot very often. I think Jalen Washington should be shooting all right.
I thought so.
Great shot by R.J. Attacking the middle of the zone, though. Shooting a low left-handed floater. Usually it's a right-handed one, but Jalen doing an excellent job as Brown came up to challenge R.J. Jalen on the backside getting the rebound. They tried to undercut him. So
still trying. I think the foul's been called on Chris Bell,
and they're reviewing to see who should be shooting
on the rebound. I think it should be Jalen Washington. You're right. So it is Washington, and it'll be a 1-and-1 because that's the 8th foul on Syracuse. So the foul was on Bell, his first. So a 1-and-1 for Jalen Washington. Syracuse on a 9-0 run, but Carolina was up by 27 when this run started. So it's just an 18-point lead now, with Washington trying to snap a 2.5-minute scoring drought here for Carolina.
In the last 2 possessions, we've looked much better. Trimble attacking the middle of the lane, RJ attacking. So I think Coach Davis went back with some of those guys who are really good at getting downhill to try to attack that zone.
Free throw no good by Washington, and so this drought continues for Carolina, as it's an 18-point lead for the Heels. Mintz, tough shot, no good. Just never passed it. 1-on-1, pulled up from the left elbow on a guarded shot. Carolina with the defensive board. 45-27 Carolina. R.J. Davis, left wing, passes to Trimble. Back in the middle of the floor to Davis. Man-to-man. Back in the zone for Syracuse. Thought it was the man for a moment.
Very extended 2-3, so it looks more like a man-to-man.
R.J. Davis passes in the middle of the zone to Ingram. Kicks it over right side to Cormac Ryan. Shot clock's down to 5. Carolina got to go. To Ingram. Extra pass to Washington, and he dunks it right on top of Benny Williams.
Great pass by Ingram, and Jalen Washington using that length and athleticism to be able to dunk it.
47-27, back to a 20-point Tar Heel lead. Stops that 9-0 Syracuse run. Mintz driving to the left of the lane, cut off on a switch by Jalen Washington, out to Benny Williams, no good. Rebound to Jalen Washington, he'll hand off to R.J. Davis. Less than a minute to go first half, Heels up by 20. R.J. Davis changes speeds, gets to the cup, and draws the hard foul. He'll have a couple free throws upcoming.
Great job pushing the pace. R.J. able to push it up there before they're able to set their 2-3 zone. Two guys came over, challenged him, and fouled him. But even if he missed it, Jalen Washington's on the backside for the dunk. So great job by R.J. and really just pushing that pace.
Foul was on Malik Brown, That's his second and 9th on Syracuse. This will be 2 shots for Davis, who was in the act of shooting on that layup when he took the contact. 54.3 to go. Free throws good. Davis now with 11. Carolina 8 of 10 as a team at the free throw line. Syracuse is 9 of 11.
We're doing a much better job here since we changed those lineups a little bit, attacking the middle of that paint. We still got to be careful. Brown's doing a great job when we hit the top, the ACC, the top middle of the lane there, getting his hands on those passes to the bigs down low.
Davis perfect at the line on that trip and today, and nearly gets a steal on the inbound. As just a lazy inbound by Taylor to Quadir Copeland. Davis flashed in front and tipped it out of bounds. 53.3 seconds to go. Carolina 49, Syracuse 27. Largest lead has been 27. It's currently 22. And Trimble's going to get called for the foul, trying to stay in front of Quadir Copeland. And the problem is that's going to send the game to the other side of the court because that's the 9th foul on Carolina. First on Trimble, but that means Copeland, a 72% shooter, who's 2 of 2 today, is going to go to the free throw line.
And Trimble actually found it really interesting there. Trimble was guarding Mintz. He asked RJ to switch, but what he wanted was we had 2 guys guarding Mintz, so he couldn't get it in. Trimble wanted to pressure him all the way up the court, but just a little too much pressure.
Copeland makes the free throw. Syracuse's best offense by far has been the free throw line. 10 of 12, now 10 of 13 as that one comes up short. Just 8 of 30 from the field. So 27% from the field, 10 of 13 at the free throw line. Syracuse in the zone. 49-28. Carolina gets it down low to Washington. Out to an open R.J. Davis. Long distance triple. Dial it in, baby.
And R.J.'s an awesome three-point shooter, what we like to call a zone buster. So somebody we want to find often against this zone.
Davis now 3 of 5 from 3. Has 15 points here in the first half and gets the steal. Just took it away from Copeland. Push ahead to Trimble. He's going to the rim and can't finish. Washington, though, gets the rebound. Saves it to Cormac Ryan, who then falling over the baseline. Oh, he threw it off an Orange player, we thought.
I think it hit his leg on the way down after it hit the Orange player. So
that's a couple times, man. Trimble has not been able to earn that whistle in transition.
Yep. And off the Orange guy, and then Cormac was staying out of bounds, hit his leg. So
52-28. Syracuse is going to have the ball here for likely the final possession of the half. Carolina denying Mintz. Ends up to Quadir Copeland. Down low to Malik Brown. Ingram tried to deny it, and Malik Brown was able to get free and get the layup a couple of seconds before the horn. But that was one of the rare negative possessions offensively or defensively for the Tar Heels in the first half. They lead by as many as 27 points in the first half and take a 22-point lead into the locker room. 52-30 is the score at the break. This 22-point lead, not quite the largest lead at halftime this year. Heels led Charleston Southern by 23. And this isn't Charleston Southern. They're playing today. Up 22 on Syracuse at the break. Dave will take you through the Wells Fargo halftime report after this from Learfield. That'll finish the Wells Fargo halftime show, brought to you by Wells Fargo, official sponsor of Carolina Athletics, and take us to the trusted choice of the game, brought to you by the Trusted Choice Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina. They want you to stay safe behind the wheel, put down your phone while driving, and let's have a hands-free NC. To learn more and find an agent near you, Visit trustedchoice.com/go Heels. Tyler, Heels up 22 at the break. What do you think will be important here in the second half?
I think just doing more of the same. Play with the same energy, the same intensity we had in the first half. Don't let them go on a run here to start the second half, and give them confidence. A lot of times we want to let them score a little bit too much to start the second half before you get locked back in. So just lock in from the start here.
R.J. Davis with those 15 points in the first half has moved up past Mitch Kupchak and past Hubert Davis in the all-time scoring list at Carolina. R.J. Davis is now 27th all-time. Up next, Justin Jackson and Jawad Williams are next on that scoring list. Tar Heels going left to right as we see it here in the second half. Syracuse in the zone. Heels push it around, end up to Cadeau. Misses the open three. And rebound to the Orange. Carolina starting the second half with, as R.J. Davis, it looked like he blocked Judah Mintz's shot, but it's going to be called a foul on Davis.
Yeah, not a great start in the first two possessions there. Syracuse in their 2-3 zone. We threw it inside to Armando, then back out to Cadeau, and he shot the three from about 2 or 3 feet behind the line. Like to see him step up to the line, and then just getting back, Mintz being aggressive, came down. A little lax on our defense, able to get down to about 3 feet before we really engaged him. So not a great start, but just pick up the intensity. If it stays at that, we'll be fine.
Cadeau 0 of 2 from 3 today as Mintz makes both free throws. And Cadeau 4 of 18 on the season from three-point range. So the 2 free throws by Mintz makes it a 20-point game as the Heels get it inside the zone to Ingram, and then his pass tried to get it to Bacot on the baseline. It was the right idea, but he threw it between his legs out of bounds.
Yeah, one of those passes, he threw it overhead pass to his knees, which is about an impossible pass to catch. So just got to be a little more precise with that, and good luck. So the Heels, after scoring on 3 of their last 4 possessions in the first half, have not scored on either, and they give up an alley-oop dunk. And so all of a sudden, Syracuse is within 18. Carolina has had 2 poor possessions and quick possessions. Syracuse with 2 free throws and a dunk. Carolina gets into the middle of the zone to Ingram. He'll back out into the corner right. Whips it to Cadeau. He lobs it to Bacot. Has to come down with it, and then he's fouled as he goes back up by Malik Brown. That's Brown's 3rd foul. And so that'll put Bacot at the line. Bacot only played 8 minutes in the first half due to foul issues. He played well, 6 points and 4 rebounds, but only the 8 minutes. These will be his first free throws attempted of the afternoon, and try to get Carolina on the board here in this half, and he does with the first free throw. So that makes it 53-34 Carolina, back by 19. Syracuse had scored the first 4 points of the half. Brown having 3 fouls is big here. He's been at the anchor of that zone and really kept us from getting anything easy at the rim.
Bacot made them both. It's to 20 again, 54-34. Largest lead was 27. And it was 22 at halftime. Carolina the advantage. Syracuse with the basketball. Starling also playing with 3 fouls. Over to Taylor. He'll hand off on the left wing to Bell. A lot of movement here for Syracuse, off and on the ball. And another foul is called.
R.J. Davis just getting a little too handsy. Put both his hands on him, and a little ticky-tack, but he probably fouled him.
So the foul on the perimeter called on Davis against Starling. So that's 2 quick ones on R.J. Davis. So he joins Bacot and Wojcik, who have 2 fouls for Carolina. Syracuse, Brown, and Starling have 3. Mintz with the basketball between the circles, drifts on his own dribble to the left side, wraps around a screen, drives against Cormac Ryan, and is able to finish on the right side. So Mintz, who had 10 points in the first half but took 12 shots to get him, has 4 quick points this half. Right corner, Ingram doesn't take the 3. Instead, he'll find a cutting Cadeau, flips it off the rim. No, rebound to Syracuse. So a much better start to this half for Syracuse. Mintz kicks it in the corner. Open look for 3 is good. That was by Bell, and so the Orange has come out with a fury here, outscoring Carolina 9-2, and they're within 15 at 54-39. Cadeau into the paint, is tripped up, and he gets the bucket to go.
Great drive by Cadeau there. Just attacked the middle of the zone. I'm not sure who tripped him, but
it was Starling, and that's his 4th.
It tripped him, basically falling down, shot the little floater on the rim, and was able to knock it down. We're really seeing from Syracuse the effect Mintz can have. Those 2 buckets he's had, the 3 there that they made. Mintz was able to get to the lane, attack really fast. He's really creating everything for him. Part of the reason we tried to keep the ball out of his hands the whole first half.
The free throw no good, but Ingram gets the rebound. His stick back is blocked, but it caroms out to Cadeau. Tar Heels will start again. Cadeau on the drive, hangs in the air and scoops it home.
A little athleticism out of Cadeau, attacking the middle of the lane there. Taking off, a little floating through the lane layup.
Ends up being a 4-point possession for Carolina as the Heels back up by 19. Mintz, tough shot blocked by Cadeau. Into the hands of Baycott. He'll wait for traffic to clear. Get it to the freshman. Cadeau, front side. Backdoor Davis. Extra pass. Baycott. Throw it down, big boy.
Great job pushing the pace. Mintz is in the backcourt complaining about the foul. Didn't get back to help. Just great job attacking that gap.
60-39. Carolina back up by 21. They've answered Syracuse's push. Mintz turns it over, bounces off his teammate's hands to R.J. Davis. Davis in transition, easy bucket for two. Syracuse has got to stop it. Timeout, Orange.
Great job by Carolina pushing the pace, active on defense and getting the fast break.
Syracuse came out with a punch, and the Heels punch right back. It's 62-39 with 17:09 to go in the second half. We'll take a break. Carolina on top on an 8-0 spurt from Learfield. (62-39) Carolina on an 8-0 run. Syracuse was down 22 at half. Jumped out to a 9-2 start to the second half. Carolina then scores 3 baskets in 45 seconds. And this 8-0 run has pushed it back to a 23-point lead, 62-39. Modelo, proud to sponsor Carolina basketball, an official beer of the Tar Heels. And our game coverage today, title sponsor is Harris Teeter, proud to assist its communities every day with their food and pharmacy needs. Harris Teeter has partnered with Carolina to present the Big Four Grocery Assist promotion. One lucky fan has chosen to win $5 in free groceries for every assist by each Big Four school every week. And in turn, Harris Teeter will donate $10 for every assist throughout the season to the school's local food bank. Visit harristeeter.com and look for the Big Four Grocery Assist page to enter today. Carolina is back up by 23, 62-39. R.J. Davis has tied his career high in steals with 5. Carolina has really been active defensively. That's 9 steals Z total for the Tar Heels. R.J. tying his career high with 5 of them.
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job. We're really not gambling. We're just doing a great job of being in the right spots and allowing Syracuse to come to us, swiping at the ball, getting our hands on it. Really, I think that's what makes our defense so effective. It's not creating turnovers by gambling. It's creating turnovers by being in the right place, waiting for them to make a mistake.
Tar Heels still have their starting 5 on the floor. Starling playing with 4 fouls for Syracuse. Bounces to Quadir Copeland, who's back in. Tries to drive against Cadeau. Cut off, and he throws it right to Cormac Ryan. Another steal. Ryan's going to, whoa, gracious, push the pace, and he took a hard shot by Chris Bell.
I think Chris Bell was going for a steal there. Kind of looked like he lowered his shoulder into him, but I think he was trying to get a steal and mistimed it badly.
Ryan is gimpy as he gets up, and the officials are going to look at the monitor, I think, just to see if there was anything extra. It was certainly an aggressive foul. And I believe as the officials go under hood, take your Tar Heel tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today. So that should be a shooting foul, I would assume.
Yeah, and nothing about that felt malicious. I know they got all the new rules and stuff protecting players, which I love, but
Z's starting to sound like the old guys. Back in my day, that would have just been.
But I'm saying, they got to review this. None of it felt malicious. I don't think there was any ill intent there. He just badly timed the steal that he was going for.
They're showing the replay here in the Smith Center. Woof, yeah,
that looked worse from that angle.
It did look a little worse from that angle. Looked more like a shoulder tackle there from Chris Bell.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I may have to take back what I just said on my previous comment with that one, but he didn't go for the ball at all, which makes it a lot harder to say this.
Let's see. Here comes Bert Smith. They are going to call this a flagrant 1 foul on Chris Bell. I think that's the right.
I do. That second angle showed a lot.
And And seeing that angle, I do think that's the right call, as Bell didn't really make a play on the ball. He just really lowered his shoulder and blocked Ryan out of the play. So Ryan's going to have 2 shots, and Carolina will get the ball.
Yeah, he had both hands up in the air. I thought he went for the ball, but seeing the replay, he did not.
First free throw good by Cormac Ryan. He's now, after not having any free throws the last 2 games, and actually hadn't shot any 5 of the last 7 games. He makes that one, too, so he is 5 of 6 today.
Carolina's had a great response from that. Syracuse had a great push to start the half. We've had a great response since then, being able to get it back up to 25.
Yeah, it was a 9-2 start, Z, to the half for Syracuse. Carolina's gone 10-0 since then.
Really, I mean, 15 points is still not something you worry about, but above 20 you feel much, much more comfortable. So
largest lead has been 27. It's currently 25 at 64-39 with 16:53 to go.
Score here and get it back up to 27.
There you go.
So
Z's just feeling good about things. Carolina gets the inbounds, working around the perimeter against the Syracuse spread-out zone. R.J. Davis on the left wing. Going to penetrate in. Tough bounce pass to Ingram. Extra pass to Bacot. Oh, he put it on the floor. I'm not sure he needed to. And when he did, he lost the basketball.
Good play, though. I mean, really just a great play by Syracuse to be able to get it. A great offense.
Nice play by Starling. He just went coast to coast, weaved through traffic, and pulled up from about 8 feet for the bucket. So it's 64-41 after that exchange. Carolina's lead is 23. Cadeau over to Ryan deep on the left wing. Doesn't take the long 3. Instead, looking inside the Syracuse zone to Cadeau. Back to Ryan. Extra bounce pass in the corner. Wide open triple for Ingram's no good. But the rebound goes to R.J. Davis. Goes up against Brown. No good. Bacot, though, there to clean things up and roll it over the front of the iron.
Great job by Armando just hanging around the middle of the lane. R.J., maybe an ill-advised shot against the center, but able to get it up on the rim where Armando can rebound it.
66-41, back to a 25-point Tar Heel advantage. Quadir Copeland in the middle of the floor for Syracuse, pushes it to Bell. Now to Starling, playing with the 4 fouls. Starling, tough look at 3, no good. Bacot rips the rebound away from R.J. Davis. He's not Carolina's all-time leading rebounder for nothing, right? Oh, what vision by Cadeau. The shot, though, was pinned off the glass by Syracuse as Ingram couldn't get it to go. Boy, it has been a mess out here after that as both teams fighting for the loose ball. Eventually, it gets knocked out of bounds off of Syracuse. So Cadeau with the brilliant pass to Ingram, who had his shot blocked. And then after that, it was just a calamity on the floor as both teams trying to go for the loose ball. It ends up to Carolina after this break. 15:31 to go in the second half. Carolina by 25, 66-41 our score from Learfield.
All the action, all season long. This is Carolina basketball.
15 minutes and 31 seconds to play. Carolina 66, Syracuse 41. It's a new season at Kohl's with everyday styles at great prices. You can get more of what you want for less. Find go-tos for going everywhere and perfect picks for your home. Shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com today. That's KOHLS.com. And Food Lion, proud to sponsor the score to give more program for each free throw the Tar Heels make in today's game. Food Lion Feeds will donate 100 meals to a local area food bank. So Carolina led by 27 late in the first half, led by 22 at halftime, 52-30. Syracuse jumped out, scoring 9 of the first 11 points this half to cut Carolina's lead down to 15, but then the Heels answered with a 10-0 and now 12-2 run. So in total, it is a plus 25 margin on that North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard for Carolina, 66-41. Farm Bureau Insurance helping you is what they do best. Couple individual stats. R.J. Davis leading all scorers with 17. He also has a rebound, an assist, and 5 steals. 12 points, 8 rebounds in just 12 minutes for Bacot. He has been effective when he has been in there tonight. Then a lot of balance after that. Ingram, 7 points, 8 boards. Ryan has 7 points, 6 points, 3 assists for Cadeau. 6 points for Washington, 6 for Withers to go along with 4 rebounds. Trimble has 5 points. It is 14 points for Judah Mintz on 14 shots, leading Syracuse. Chris Bell has 13. Those two have 27 of the 41 points for the Orange, who have been forced to go into this zone for most of this game after Carolina just diced them up early. R.J. Davis, the runner, no good, but Bacot, uncontested tip in for 2.
And Armando's known for that, being able to tip it in on the offensive rebound. really great place to attack the zone.
Baycott up to 14 points now, and Carolina's lead back up to 27, matching its largest of the afternoon. Starling going against R.J. Davis, has to bounce it out to Bell. Bell sweeps through against Cormac Ryan. Fall away from the right elbow, no good. Rebound tipped around. Baycott again rips it away from a teammate. He just wants him.
That's his double-double there, too.
That's right. Don't take it away from him. Cadeau down low to Baycott against Browno. Just spins around him, hooks it in. No, Ingram's there to poke it home.
Great job by Ingram. He was all the way on the wing when Armando started to make his move. Saw nobody was guarding him, ran right down the middle of the lane for the tip-in.
So Baycott does have that double-double, as Z told you, 14 points and 10 rebounds. That it may be a turnover. Syracuse threw it. It was bouncing towards us, but Bell able to chase it down before it goes out of bounds. Cadeau tips it free. Ends up to Syracuse, though. Quadir Copeland's going to get a run-out dunk. But that was really good effort by Carolina defensively.
Yeah, Cadeau thought he had the steal, ran out. His man ended up scoring, but Syracuse was just lucky to get the ball back.
So 70-43 the score. Ryan, tough bounce pass in the middle of the zone to Ingram. Goes left corner, R.J. Davis for three. Rattles it home.
Great shot by R.J.
Gracious.
Really getting the ball in the middle of the zone there.
I mean, this is a clinic.
It's great, yeah.
It's a 30-point game, 73-43.
We got the zone figured out finally.
And another turnover as Malik Brown tried to float it down low to Copeland, and too tall. Trimble's going to check in. He'll replace Cadeau. Good minutes again for the freshman as Trimble will enter with 13:50 to go, and the Heels up 30.
And this is what defense can do. It really frustrates a team, and it's hard to play defense when you're not scoring.
Cormac Ryan well out on the right wing. Passes middle of the floor to Trimble. Left side now to Davis. Bounce pass to Ingram in the middle of the zone. Out to Ryan. His look at three is off the mark. No rebound tip by Trimble to Ingram, though. Carolina going to reset. Ingram muscles it up from the right block for two more.
Ingram is so good in the middle of that zone. Coach Davis has him right at the free throw line trying to make plays, whether it's to the big or out to a shooter.
Double-double for Ingram, 11 points, 10 rebounds, his third this year, 8th of his career. 75-43. Tar Heels by 32. Just running away with this thing. On the drive, cuff blocked by Trimble into Baycott's hands. Quick outlet. Cormac Ryan waits for it to bounce, and he bounces up and throws it home.
Great play by Armando, getting the rebound and threw it. Threw it about 20 feet in the air, a little looping pass, but Ryan caught it in stride and able to dunk it on the other end.
If you looked up Carolina basketball in the dictionary, it might be this afternoon. 77-43. Quadir Copeland, tough look at three, knocked it in with Ryan right in his face.
Great step back by Copeland. Good defense, just a better shot.
77-46. Syracuse shooting better this half. Heels dice up the zone to Baycott, and he's fouled as Ingram got it in the middle of the paint. Little short bounce pass to Armando's, fouled going up. The foul is on Taylor. Justin Taylor, his first, fourth on the Orange. So Syracuse shooting much better this half, 6 of 10, but still just 36.5% for the game. Carolina's 10 of 20 this half and 51% for the game.
Yeah, Carolina doing a great job against the zone, getting in the middle with Ingram at the high post there. He catches the ball. When you catch the ball at the high post, you got to look low to the big for the easiest pass. If they're guarding that, they must have collapsed, which means you got a three-point shooter open somewhere. And Ingram doing a great job just going through the progression and finding the right person.
So Ingram's going to sit down. Withers comes in. Now, Ingram is more adept at passing than Withers is. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how, if Withers gets put in that same spot, how he handles that, as Ingram is now up to not just the double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, but 3 assists as well.
Yeah, and we struggled a little bit earlier when Withers came in, but hopefully he can find that high post, be able to be effective, and we stop settling for threes.
Baycott made both free throws, so he's up to 16 points and 11 rebounds. That is his 8th double-double this year and 73rd of his career, including his 4th in the last 5 games against Syracuse, as Mintz gets a driving layup to go for the Orange. So after that sequence, it's 79-48. Tar Heels by 31. In the middle of the zone, it goes to Baycott, out to Trimble. Doesn't take the three. Drives in, hands off to Withers on the right baseline. Cross-court pass to Ryan. Tried the no-look pocket pass to Baycott, and it was tipped out of bounds by the Orange. So it'll stay with Carolina. 12:07 to go second half. 14 on the shot clock with Carolina up 79-48.
Yeah, Ryan actually had he tried to make one too many passes there. I think he actually had the layup over the front of the rim.
Trimble still looking. Short bounce pass to Withers. Cross court, it goes right wing to Ryan, and he is fouled. This time by Benny Williams on hard contact. That is the first on Williams, 5th on Syracuse. And Carolina will reset with 12:04. The shot clock will go to 20 again. So again, that 5 out there is Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Withers, Baycott right now for Carolina. Inbounds goes in the corner to Baycott. One dribble, now floats it out to R.J. Davis, middle of the floor. To Cormac Ryan, right back to R.J. Shot clock down to 10. Davis attacks right, drifts into the right corner. Shot clock's down to 7. Davis now going to get to the rim. Scoops it underneath the challenge for 2.
Great job attacking. Went from the right corner, attacked the middle, and really just a good athletic move to be able to jump back for the right-handed layup.
R.J. Davis up to 22 points as Jalen Washington will come to the scorer's table for Carolina. 11:35 to play. Carolina up 81-48. Syracuse gets it in the corner left. Line drive 3 by Benny Williams is short, right into the hands of the Tar Heels. R.J. Davis pushing it right down the center of the floor. The lob to Withers, answered with the flush.
Great play we've been pushing the pace all night. Withers did a great job running, and R.J. put the ball right on the money.
83-48. Mintz in trouble at the right elbow.
Got Armando to jump.
And got Armando Baycott to foul him as he was spinning and pivoting around. Foul on Baycott, his 3rd, but hard to find anything wrong with what's happened this afternoon. The Tar Heels from the jump have just been squeezing the Orange completely dry. 83-48 the score, 11:10 to play second half from Learfield. $11:10 to go in the second half. Man, it has been impressive. 83-48. Tar Heels leading by 35 points over Syracuse here in the Smith Center. A reminder, after the game, we'll have our Best in the Game feature. That's brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. A lot of choices tonight. Just quick glance at the Lenovo stats. R.J. Davis, 22 points on 7 of 12 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3, and 5 steals. Harrison Ingram, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Armando Baycott, 16 points, 11 rebounds. A lot of good choices tonight, this afternoon, as Carolina has played well to this point and has built this really significant advantage against the Orange. All of us on the Tar Heel Sports Network want to send our condolences to the family and friends of Robert Fitzgerald of Roxborough, North Carolina. Robert, a long-time and big-time Tar Heel fan, passed away earlier this week, and we want to send our thoughts to Robert's son, Will, and his entire family as they navigate what is understandably an incredibly emotional and difficult time. Back on the floor here in the Smith Center, Judah Mintz going to have 2 free throws as the foul on Baycott was deemed to be in the act of shooting by Mintz. And free throw rolls off, so watch out now. Crumble cookies in play. Mintz misses both. Just like those State fans were so excited to get that Chick-fil-A sandwich the other night.
It's pretty exciting when you get cookies, though.
Here we go. Mintz spoiled the fun. Made them both.
He's not a good one to try to get to miss.
Yeah, he's a good free throw shooter. Those crumble cookies don't want to crumble under pressure. Tar Heels have the basketball. The score's now 83-49. Wojcik is back in. He has it on the right sideline. Bounces in the post to Jalen Washington, who's also in, and that smooth stroke on the right baseline from about 12 to 14 feet goes home.
He's really good at that shot. Little face up. Nice. Goes at his speed. Nice and solid shot for him.
85-49. Cadeau comes back to the scorer's table. Right now it's Davis, Trimble, Wojcik, Withers, Washington on the floor for Carolina. Starling, the Notre Dame transfer, pulls up for the elbow jumper. Good for 2. Starling's hit a couple of nice shots this half. He has 6, 85-51.
Low elbow jumper, but you just notice how hard it is for Syracuse to get any good looks.
Paxton Wojcik, pass in the paint to Washington. Sends it in the corner right to Trimble. Trimble hangs in the air, tried to leave it for Washington. Jalen wasn't anticipating and then lost the basketball. Here comes Syracuse the other way. They try an alley-oop and incomplete as the throw was tall to Chris Bell. He was able to touch it up in the air, but then just crumbled to the ground with it and fell over the baseline for a turnover. Carolina will take out R.J. Davis and put back in Elliot Cadeau. with 10:09 to play. Do you see Davis and Baycott one more time? Maybe, maybe not. Up 85-51 with 10:09 to go.
That's probably the last we'll see of them. They'll let some of these other guys get some good minutes.
Boy, Trimble weaves through traffic. Had a great idea to underhand it to Washington. Hubert Davis would rather see a bounce pass there, but the pass was tipped out of bounds. The thought was good of the penetration and pass. The execution a little off, but it will stay with Carolina with Syracuse knocking it out.
Yeah, great time for some of these guys who don't get as many shots or reps to be able to get some good looks, and we'll see how it goes here.
85-51. Pass by Withers to the left wing to Wojcik. Extra pass in the corner left to Trimble. Nothing there. So the Heels reset. Wojcik has it again. His left wing triple is off the back iron. Withers way up in the air for the offensive rebound. Withers was going to kick it back out, and then he realized, well, I'm by myself. I may as well hook it home.
He really did. I think he saw everybody was guarded and then realized he was wide open.
That's 10 points for Withers. Just the second time this year he's been in double figures. A guarded three off the back iron. No good by Bell. Another rebound for Withers. He's starting to smell a double-double. Trimble pushes ahead to Washington. One dribble, lost the ball, gets it back, goes up in traffic, and he'll earn the foul.
I tell you what, Brown is so good. He was able to swipe the ball away from Washington there. He was able to recover it and then go up. But great job by Carolina pushing the pace. If we don't let them get in this zone, we've been very effective at stealing layups or wide open threes.
Foul was on Kyle Cuff Jr., his second. And Washington will go to the free throw line for two shots.
Good to see this second group playing so well. Obviously we know RJ, we know Armando, all those guys who played so much, but these guys are a little bit younger, getting some time together. Really good to see them playing well.
If Washington makes this free throw, he made the first one, it'll be the fifth Tar Heel in double figures. As 22 for Davis, 16 Baycott, Ingram 11, Withers has 10. And Washington's going to stay at 9 as the free throw rattles out.
It's a good night when you have 5 or 6 people in double figures.
Yeah. It would be the third time this year that Carolina did it, if they do it, coming up as this game progresses. Back in is Monir Hema, reserve big man for Syracuse. He added the free throw line out to Mintz. Mintz, a little stutter step, gets free from Trimble, but way off on the long jumper. Rebound, Jalen Washington. Heels up 88-51. Cadeau's pass was off the mark, a rare errant pass from Cadeau as he tried to push it to Trimble. I think it may be more than errant. It just caught Trimble. Trimble was cutting from the left corner towards the basket. Cadeau thought he was going to stay in the corner, and it ended up going out of bounds.
Yeah, good look, good push and pace, just a little miscommunication.
88-51. Those are a lot easier to swallow when you're up by 37 points as Carolina tips a pass out of bounds. Turnovers, there have been 10 of them for Carolina, 15 for Syracuse. The Orange came in forcing about 16 per game and scoring 19 points off those turnovers. Carolina has done a good job limiting that trouble. Maybe a stretch or two where they had a couple of possessions in a row early, but for the most part, they've done a good job.
Yeah, we've been able to push the ball and get some really good shots.
Mintz has the shot blocked by Jalen Washington, just tipped it way up in the air. Carolina will run the other direction. Trimble again draws contact, no foul in transition, but again there's Washington to get the rebound and go to the free throw line as he's fouled again, this time by Hema, his second, seventh on Syracuse. So Heels will be in the bonus the rest of the way, and Washington will have two shots at the line. He's just 1 of 3 at the stripe today. He came into the game at 64%.
And Jalen Washington doing a great job running the floor there. One of those plays, he didn't have to be there, but because he was there, he was able to get the rebound. But on the other end, Jalen blocked the shot from the side, and it was kind of awkward. He swiped it, and all of a sudden it just went 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, he just kind of ballooned it up in the air. As Hema's going to sit down, and Peter Carey, a 6'11 sophomore from Sunderland, Massachusetts, just his 5th game of the season that he's played, will enter. Washington made both free throws, so he's up to 11. So he's in double figures for the 3rd time this year. So that is now 5 Tar Heels in double figures. 3rd time it's happened this season. Also occurred against Northern Iowa and Charleston Southern. Tar Heels up 90-51. I mean, it's almost a 40-point lead here for Carolina.
And Syracuse really can't even get the ball inside the lane. We're doing a great job.
Quadir Copeland on the drive, and he's fouled. Washington went way up to challenge the shot, and it's going to get called for the foul.
And as I say that, then find their way to the
lane. That's right. Copeland was able to get on the baseline, got around Cadeau that time. As now James Okonkwo is going to come to the scorers table for Carolina. Going to get him some minutes, it appears, perhaps for Washington after this first free throw. And Washington, 11 points on 4 of 4 from the field, 3 of 5 at the free throw line, 6 rebounds. So some nice minutes for Jalen, and he will come out with Okonkwo coming in. First free throw, by the way, was good by Copeland.
And the crowd gives him a good ovation here as he goes out. But really, you just feel his effort, feel his presence in the paint. Didn't block a lot of shots, but felt like he altered a lot of shots that have helped us get this lead.
Copeland makes both free throws. Copeland's had a nice half with 7, now 10 for the game for him, just the 7th time he's been in double figures. It's 90-53 with 8:08 to go. Cadeau dribbling in the center jump circle, bounce pass to Okonkwo. Now to Withers, top of the key, right back to Cadeau. Whips it down low, Okonkwo gets good position down low. His shot was altered by Carey, and he came up short on the hook shot from the low left block. Rebound to the Orange. 90-53, Carolina up big. Whittier Copeland, too strong on the 3. Carey with the rebound, and will reset for the Orange. To Mintz. Mintz gets the layup to go.
You're seeing a little miscommunication from us. We've got some lineups that don't necessarily play together very often, but everybody's still playing hard, just having some gaps in there.
This is just the 8th game Okonkwo has appeared in this year. As Cadeau gets a screen from Withers, wraps around it, leaves it for Withers. Extra pass to Okonkwo. He'll wait for traffic to clear and lays it in.
A little shot fake, 2 guys fly right by him, and nice easy layup.
92-55. Carolina wanted that play, didn't run it right, so ran it again as Whittier Copeland going to hit the fall away from the free throw line. Right now, Syracuse just looking for theirs individual. Mintz has 19 points on 17 shots. Copeland's starting to fire up a bunch of shots, too.
Yeah, both those guys, every time they get the ball, they're trying to get a shot up.
92-57. Cadeau thought Wojcik was going to keep cutting down the left baseline. I chuckled because had that one been completed, it would have been pretty incredible. Instead, it sails out of bounds. It will be a turnover. Tar Heels playing a little free and loose here with a 92-57 lead. As you would expect, they have controlled this game from the jump. I mean, this lead has swelled to as large as 39, currently at 35 with just 6:53 to go. Tar Heels well on their way to a 5th win in 5 tries in ACC action. But for now, we're going to take a break. 6:53 to play in the Smith Center from Learfield.
All the action, all season long. This is Carolina basketball.
Tar Heels have dominated this game against the good Syracuse team, 92-57, with still 6:53 to go. Have to imagine Tar Heels, no more Baycott, no more Davis. Already seen Cormac Ryan check out, Withers check out. Carolina's gone to its full second unit, although Cadeau has still been out and playing for the Heels. So we'll see how Carolina manages the 5 on the floor the rest of the way. They have managed this game quite well. We're brought to you in part by Fairfield by Marriott, part of the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio of hotels and a proud partner of Carolina Athletics. Z, you look deeper into these Lenovo stats. I mean, the very basic stats are there. I mean, Carolina out rebounding Syracuse 41-23. Heels are shooting 52%. Syracuse is shooting 39%, and that's with some good shooting for Syracuse this half. But a little deeper, points off turnovers, 21-14 Carolina. Fast break points, 15-7 Carolina. Second chance points, 20-4 Tar Heels. Points in the paint, 54-26. Bench points, 28-13. I mean, it is top to bottom.
Every one of them, yeah. I mean, it's incredible. The one I've been circling all game is the paint points. Against a long athletic team, we've done a phenomenal job of getting in the paint. Some of that's offensive rebound, some of it's just attacking. And because of that, we've been able to knock down some threes and have some good looks from that. So, but really just our pace today has been incredible. Being able to get it up, trying to not let them set their defense.
Cadeau, Trimble, Wojcik, High, Okonkwo, the 5 on the floor for Carolina. So all guys outside of Okonkwo who do see time, but for the most part, Carolina's second unit, apart from Cadeau, who has been a starter. Mintz with Okonkwo switched on him is going to drive and try and score. He is fouled by Okonkwo, his first. Creighton Lebo has come to the scorer's table for Carolina. 5th foul on the Tar Heels as a team, but it will result in free throws for Mintz, and he's a good free throw shooter, 79% on the season and 5 of 7 today.
Anytime you can get these kind of lineups a lot of time, it's really good for them to be able to get some looks. Trimble can try to do some things that he doesn't normally do within our offense, but allow him to expand his game and then show what he can do. Wojcik, who's had some moments, he's been good. Can hopefully get some comfort and be able to help us down the road. It can be really big if there's an injury or in the tournament where things just aren't going well.
Mintz up to 21 after making both free throws. Lebo did check in for Cadeau. So Carolina starting to go pretty deep here with the big lead, 92-59. As the pass to Okonkwo knocked away from behind by Peter Carey, but it goes out of bounds. So Carolina will throw it in. 13 on the shot clock. Mintz is going to check out. Starling with 4 fouls returns. Carolina, a very unusual 5 on the floor here. Shot clock's down to 7 as Trimble has it. Gets a screen from Okonkwo. Trimble's going to pull up for a tough 3, and he was fouled by Peter Carey.
Able to drag that out a little bit, a little sidestep. Carey just challenged a little too hard, able to draw the foul. Syracuse out of the zone, back to man-to-man.
So this is going to be 3 shots for Trimble. He is a 64.5% shooter, 11 of 15 in the last 7 games. And these will be his first attempts tonight. Tar Heels as a team, 18 of 22. Syracuse is 17 of 21. First free throw no good by Trimble, so it remains 92-59. Now look, biscuits are in play here too from Bojangles. Tar Heel crowd, of course, wants that 2 biscuits for $1 coming up tomorrow. 2 sausage biscuits for $1. Carolina's got to get to 100 though. They're up to 93 with the second free throw good by Trimble, but an unusual 5 out there. We'll see.
Just got to find somebody to score the ball. So for some of you guys who weren't listening earlier, Syracuse playing their zone is normal for them, but this year they played almost 90% of the time they played man-to-man. So a very unique night for them playing this much zone.
They couldn't keep Carolina out of the paint in the man-to-man, so forced them to go zone.
And their zone was effective for a while.
Yep.
We figured it out.
Taylor on the drive for Syracuse is challenged at the rim by both High and Okonkwo, out of bounds off the Tar Heels. 15 on the shot clock, 94-59. Tar Heels with the swelling 35-point lead.
And Syracuse doesn't look comfortable either.
No, both teams have gone to some reserves. Starling, the pass to Carey, his hook shot no good. High could have just grabbed the rebound, tried to tip it, and tipped it to Syracuse. And then Syracuse has it stripped on the drive, but out of bounds off the Tar Heels. So a little sloppy here. 14 on the shot clock, 5:37 on the game clock.
About 4 people touched the ball before it went out of bounds there. So just getting some guys some minutes here to be able to try to help them find their way along the season.
94-59, almost a steal by Carolina. Quadir Copeland able to get into the paint, though, and push it off the window for 2.
Copeland's actually been pretty good.
Oh, gracious. Trimble tried a long, skipping bounce pass to Okonkwo in transition, and as you can imagine, that did not work out. It ended up going out of bounds.
And Coach Davis not real happy with that pass.
Kind of looked at Seth like, are you sure you wanted to do that?
Yeah, and Trimble has had some issues with turnovers, so I think he's looking for him as a primary ball handler to take care of the ball here.
Quadir Copeland, who's played well here in the second half, one of the rare bright spots for Syracuse in a day that has been all Tar Heels. Shot missed, though, by Copeland on the baseline. High with the rebound. Throws it behind his back to Trimble. Comes up the court right side to a trailing High. Looked at Creighton Lebo. Instead goes over to Wojcik on the right side. He'll pull up for 3. No good.
Moving screen on High.
High, yep. Zayden High going to be called for the moving screen. His first. 6th on Carolina. That score is stuck on 94. Tar Heels need 6 more for the Biscuits. That's really the only thing still in question here.
Yeah, Zayden, a little handoff, and then he rolled a little too fast and pushed the guy underneath. Good call for that moving screen.
Tar Heels up by 33 points. Starling drives to the left elbow, sends it out to Cuff. His 3 is short. High and Trimble knock each other off the rebound. It belongs to Trimble eventually. Crossover, Seth into the paint. His runner no good. Okonkwo with the rebound, but had it ripped away from behind. Cuff to Quadir Copeland. Runs over Creighton Lebo, no whistle. And Zayden High is shaken up as Copeland gets the bucket. So Copeland is now up to 16 points. Jalen Washington's going to come back in for High. High was grabbing his midsection.
Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him. Not real sure what happened. But, yeah, he was bent over getting out of bounds there.
94-63, so Jalen Washington back in the action for Carolina. Creighton Lebo over to Wojcik. Down low it goes to Washington. He's facing up against Carey on the left baseline. His jump shot is a little short. Tar Heels have gone dry here. They haven't had a field goal in more than 3 minutes.
Good shot from Washington, but I'd like to see him be a little more aggressive, especially this late, work on his game a bit.
Carey gets the roll on the other side, so Syracuse is making this final score look a lot better than perhaps the score was. The Orange shooting 52% this half. They've got the game total up to 39% as Trimble attacks left of the lane, saw an opening, and dove to the rim for 2.
Showing off the athleticism there, going left, just able to beat the guy to the basket.
Trimble's up to 9 points. One more point for him, and he could have 6 players in double figures for Carolina. As the jumper off the backboard, no good for Syracuse. Carolina the other way. Zayden High's back at the scores table. Creighton Lebo, open look for 3, no good. Okonkwo battling for the rebound, but it goes out of bounds off the West Virginia transfer and will belong to Syracuse. We still have one more timeout to take. It's the under 4, 3:20 to go. Heels 96, Syracuse 65. Carolina led this by as many as 39 and have had reserves in since about the 8-minute mark. Tar Heels up big on their way to a victory here in the Smith Center from Learfield. Tar Heels in control, 96-65, 3:20 to go. 2 things still in question. Largest lead ever or win ever for Carolina against Syracuse, 23 points. They're up by 31 right now. Most points Carolina's ever scored against Syracuse, 96, so they've matched that. And will they get the biscuits? Need 100 for Bojangles to offer 2 sausage biscuits for $1 at all partnering locations tomorrow. The offer valid for all regular season home games, which of course this is. So all of that's still to come over the final 3:20. And then the Coke postgame report and more. Reminder, we're brought to you in part by Top of the Hill Restaurant. We'll be there on Monday night, even with the holiday, for the next edition of Hubert Davis Live. Top of the Hill has been a pre- and postgame tradition in Chapel Hill for more than 25 years. Handcrafted beer, great food and atmosphere. It's where Tar Heels come to celebrate. Let's break 10 seconds. Station ID. Down the lines on the Tar Heels Sports Network. Trimble, Lebo, Wojcik, High, Okonkwo. The 5 on the floor for Carolina with the Tar Heels up by 31. They've led by as many as 39 in this game. Starling, nice drive as he works his way through the Tar Heel traffic for the layup. Dewey Ferris has come to the scorer's table for Carolina. Heels get it in the post to Zayden High. Making a move, works around Taylor, can't finish the shot. High dives for the loose ball rebound. He may have been on the baseline or was a foul call. It's going to be out of bounds off High. It was a nice move by High. Just didn't finish.
Great move. One dribble middle, baseline, little right-hand hook shot off the glass, just a little too hard.
Here comes Rob Landry as well. So Carolina has completely emptied the bench at this point. They have Lebo, Landry, Ferris, High, and Okonkwo. And Carolina's gone zone. They're going to show a 2-3 zone here with the 96-67 lead.
I wonder if they were practicing zone all day yesterday, so just going to stick with it.
They've had a hard time keeping Syracuse out of the paint here as of late. They get a stop there, though, and Okonkwo gets the rebound on the missed layup. Carolina running the other way. Still need 4 points for 100. Lebo to Okonkwo. Now Zayden High on the left wing. He's going to try a 3. Zayden never shy about shooting, but that hit the backboard on the right side. The outlet pass, though, tipped away by Lebo into Zayden High. High to Dewey Ferris. Ferris splits a double team and lays it in on the right. Go do it, Dewey.
Good take by Dewey. Just coming down. Great move, split the defenders. Nice little layup. 2 more points.
98-67. Heels need 2 more for the Biscuits. Syracuse works it against the zone out to Starling. Off the mark on the 3. Oh, no, it's High with the rebound for Carolina. He'll wait for traffic to clear and get it to Lebo. 1:48 to go.
Crowd getting on their feet, hoping they can score 2 more points here.
Dewey's feeling it. Ferris, fall away, is short. Okonkwo, the rebound underneath. He scored, but a foul was called on the floor before Okonkwo got the bucket. The foul is on Peter Carey, his second. 9th on Syracuse, so this will be a 1-and-1 for Okonkwo. With 99 seconds to play and 2 points needed for the Biscuits.
Let's see if we can get it here. Dewey was aggressive there.
Yeah, he was. Okonkwo, 3 for 3 at the line this year. And 4 for 4. Okay.
Does he realize that he needs his free throw for
I don't
100
know.
points?
I don't know. Do they have Bojangles in Maidenhead, England? We don't know. That's where Okonkwo's
I know
from.
when I was playing, there wasn't many times I was in at the end, but a lot of times you don't realize what the score is until you look up when they're going crazy after you make a free throw. So
99-67. This is for Biscuits.
Hey. 2 good free throws. He's smiling. I think he knew.
That's the 3rd time this year Carolina scored 100 or more. 7th time under Hubert Davis, 215th time in Carolina history. 100-67, the score with 90 seconds to go. Syracuse has started to empty its bench a little bit as well. Nico Ruffin is in the game. He has it, a junior from Crestkill, New Jersey. He's got it top of the key. He's going to fire up a shot off the iron. No. Zayden High clears the glass for Carolina. High on his own dribble. Long pitch ahead to Rob Landry. He's going to try and get in the scoring column. He does it with the triple. Rob for 3.
Great shot by Rob. Good kick ahead by Zayden.
Looking like daddy out there popping the 3-pointer.
I like it.
103-67. Of course, his dad, Pierce Landry, an excellent shooter in his Carolina career. Missed shot for Syracuse. Rebound to Landry off the deck. Under a minute to go. It has been a clinic in the Smith Center today. Landry, he's feeling it again. A little too much on that one. Ferris, though, the rebound, the putback, no good. And Syracuse finally out of there.
Landry might have got a little excited on the second one there.
I think the adrenaline may have been pumping a bit. Driving in from the left corner off the glass, no good, is another new player, Anthony Clayton for Syracuse. Rebound to the Tar Heels. I think Hubert Davis may have told Creighton Lebo to slow it down. And Carolina going to work it around up to Zayden High. I don't think High knew that Hubert Davis had. Yeah, now Okonkwo gets the rebound.
Shot clock's off.
Yeah, Hubert Davis telling his team to stop shooting. So I think finally they have gotten the message, as Creighton Lebo will back it out with 8 seconds to go. So from start to finish today, Carolina controlled the action against Syracuse and absolutely crushes the Orange in the Smith Center this afternoon. Final score 103-67. It is the most points ever scored by Carolina against Syracuse. It is the largest victory by Carolina ever over Syracuse, a 36-point win this afternoon. Heels improved to 13-3, 5-0 in conference action. The Orange falls to 11-5. 2-3 in the ACC. Post-game report coming up. We'll talk to Coach Davis and a player. Dave will get you up to date on stats and scores. One other ACC game getting close to being over, and it's a tight one. State in Louisville in a one-possession game with less than a minute to go. Dave will get you up to date on all of that and more. Have a ton to do. Stick with us. Heels win big, 103-67 from Learfield.
We're back. Time for another edition of the Carolina Insider Rapid Reactions Edition. After Carolina just blitzes Syracuse today in the Smith Center, 103-67. It is the most points Carolina has ever scored against the Orange. It is the largest margin of victory ever by Carolina over Syracuse. Tar Heels led by as many as 39 points in this game, and they win it eventually by 36. Jones and Adam here with you. Coming up soon, you will see my interview with Coach Davis after the game. Adam talked to R.J. Davis after the game. R.J. had a team high and game high, 22 points in this one, and the Tar Heels with ease run past the Orange. Adam, I mean, every part of this game, Carolina was better than Syracuse today. I thought Carolina's effort defensively in the first half, I thought Carolina's pace in which it played, I thought Carolina's stick-to-itiveness on the glass, it just wore Syracuse down to the point where the Orange, after about 12 or 15 minutes, they were just like, that's enough. And then at the beginning of the second half, Carolina was up by 22 at halftime. Syracuse made a push. They scored 9 of the first 11 points of the second half, And then Carolina answered with a 10-0 run, and that was it. And the Tar Heels were just higher effort, higher execution. They were the much better team this afternoon.
Ken Cleary and the Wizards in the control room can put the throw in the towel gif when you said that's enough, because that's what it felt like. Carolina just took Syracuse apart, the likes of which we don't normally see an ACC team do to an ACC team. I think that was the eye-opening part about it is that is an Atlantic Coast Conference opponent.
And a team that was 11-4 and 2-2 in the league coming into the game.
And it was just a destruction. In Carolina's bench, Carolina's starters, Carolina on the glass, Carolina in the backcourt, Carolina on offense, Carolina on defense. They did everything right. We'll look back at this game as like that is what Carolina could be. It's very hard to be that all the time.
Yes.
But they can be that, and I think that's the standard Hubert Davis is going to hold them to now, even though I thought there was like a stretch of maybe like 3 minutes at the start of the second half where he wasn't real happy with how the Tar Heels were playing, but then he just twisted the knife a little and they put the foot back down and off they went.
Adam, the pace at which Carolina played I thought was really impressive today. They pushed it. They got a bunch of steals. They had 13 steals in that game, so that obviously is going to turn into some fast break opportunities. And I say this to Coach Davis in the interview that you're going to see in a second, this is like the blueprint of Carolina basketball today. The running, the rebounding, sharing the ball. It was, all of it. It was really, really impressive.
I'm surprised the Tar Heels only had 16 assists. It felt like more than that. It felt like every time Carolina scored, you were like pointing to the guy who threw him the ball.
Because don't worry, Adam points from the stands. He's like, yes, you made a good pass, Elliot Cadeau.
Coach Smith specifically asked me to do that, to carry it on. And just the pace, and it's not just one player pushing it up, it's his 4 teammates running with him.
Yeah.
And so that creates so many different offensive chances. There were so many pretty plays in this game. It's going to be fun just to go back and watch the highlights and see all the way the Tar Heels created all the easy baskets that they got.
So we'll go through some of the individual numbers coming out of the interviews, but let's get to our conversations. I had a chance to talk to Coach Davis. Adam talked to RJ Davis. Obviously, both those Davis guys were happy after this one. They saw their team play very, very well. So let's check in on those interviews. We'll come back and a lot more to do after that here on the Carolina Insider. Thank you. We are inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner after Carolina just blitzes Syracuse this afternoon, 103-67, the final score. Coach, a lot of this basketball game, your team played well. They ran, they rebounded, they shot well, they defended well, they shared the basketball. What a performance from your team.
Yeah, I thought it was I was really proud of them. It's a difficult, schedule. You play an emotional game on Wednesday night, and, then you have to get ready for a noon game on Saturday and, celebrate on Wednesday, but also get locked in and focus in preparation for against a really good Syracuse team. But I just thought defensively we were really good. One of the things that we wanted to do was defend without fouling. I think we did a pretty good job of that in the first half, but the second half I thought we did an outstanding job. And then once we were able to get the rebound, one of the things that Syracuse does is they get a lot of steals in transition. They lead the ACC in steals, a little bit over 9 a game. And I thought we did a really good job of handling that type of pressure, being able to pitch the ball ahead and really score in transition. I thought our pace, our ball movement, our spacing, it was on point today.
Steal-wise, it was your team that finished with 13 steals today. That turned into 23 points off of turnovers for your squad. Very active defensively.
Yeah, defensively we're continuing to improve and just doing a really good job of protecting the paint, defending without fouling, getting steals and deflections. We picked up full court, had some full court pressure that allowed us to get some steals and get in transition. And that's something that we've talked about, that we want to be a good rebounding team and a good defensive team. And that alongside of us being able to score, that puts us in really good position whomever we play.
53-30 was the rebounding advantage for Carolina in this one. Coach, 58-32 points in the paint. Your team had the advantage today. How'd you guys get so many effective shots and points close to the basket?
Well, I say it to them every game that we want to dominate points in the paint through post penetration and offensive rebounding, because we have bigs that can score in the paint. We have guards that can get to the basket. And when our 3, 4, and 5 go to the offensive glass, we get second chance opportunities. So that's an advantage for us. So why not use it? And we did it today, whether Syracuse was in man or zone or in transition or out of bounds underneath. Very rarely did we settle for the outside jump shot. We got the ball into the paint, to the basket, and worked inside out, and it worked really well for us.
Just two more things, Coach. Syracuse does not run that zone as its primary defense anymore, but they did today after you guys had a lot of success early. How'd you feel like your team adjusted when they went to that zone so heavy?
Well, I thought it was really good for us because that's the first time a team has zoned us, especially that long of a period. We really haven't faced it this year, and so it really gave us an opportunity to work on it, grow from it, look at the film and see which ways we can build on that, because there are going to be situations where teams do play zone and we have to be able to execute the way. But I was very proud of how we're thinking we're going against man the whole game, and it had to adjust to playing zone. And it's the first time that we went up against somebody that would even get in the zone even after a missed basket too. And so I felt like we handled it really well.
Last thing, at one point during the game, I think I said something like, if you looked up Carolina basketball in the dictionary, it might look like, you guys were running the offense. This just felt like Carolina basketball today.
Yeah, and it's a Saturday afternoon ACC game, and it's always, the energy's always live, and I know there's a lot of excitement for how this team is playing, and for us to stay the course and be able to celebrate, but to move forward and understand there's so much more room for improvement. That's the maturity of this group, and it's really a joy and a pleasure to be able to coach them.
Gosh, the effort was high, the execution was high, and the margin of victory was high. Carolina wins 103-67. Coach, congratulations on the big win, and look forward to talking with you soon.
All right, thanks a lot, Jones. Appreciate it.
That's Hubert Davis, guys. Continental Tire, Coach's Corner.
Alongside R.J. Davis, after Carolina just takes apart Syracuse at the Smith Center. R.J., a lot of things went right in that game. For you individually first, offensively, how were you able to get such good looks and knock them down?
I think my teammates did a good job of, driving the lanes and finding me open for threes, and I had the confidence to go ahead and knock it down. But then I also took advantage of myself and had it in transition, attacking the paint aggressively, and just overall looking for my shot. And I think overall, between myself and my teammates, we really did a good job of just sharing the basketball, and I was able to just go ahead and knock down the threes.
Talking about sharing the basketball, Coach Davis has talked about how much he enjoys when teammates enjoy watching other teammates score. You had the lob to Jay Witt for the dunk, and you may have been as high as Jalen Withers. We're going to have to go back and look at the tape. Yeah. What creates that kind of environment where you're as excited about him dunking as you are you making a three-pointer?
I think it just creates a loving and healthy environment, to have your teammates and to be happy for each other's success just makes the locker room even better, and overall just have an enjoyment and a fun time playing on the court. I think that's what success is not always just applauding for yourself, but applauding for your teammates. And as you can see, when we're making the extra play, extra pass, throwing the lobs, or whatever the case may be to a teammate, you can see the joy and throughout the whole locker room and throughout the whole bench. So that's one thing that we really keyed in on going to the season, and one thing that this team has really just brought to light and openly stepped on the campus with it. So I think it's all natural.
What cultivates that? It's easy to sit here and say, well, that is how it should be, but it's not always that way. Why is it that way?
I think we just have great people, great teammates that just overall just, happy of being here, happy to put on this jersey, running out that tunnel. Everyone talks about Carolina and just the family, the brotherhood that's really represents itself here. And I think we could really feel that, and I think that's what cultivates it. And I think overall everyone's just grateful for the opportunity just to run out on that floor and play in front of this fans. So, and they make it easier for us to do that. So I think the family overall just, cultivates that whole energy.
It's not all easy. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. Hard work defensively today. A lot of bodies on the floor going after loose balls. Seemed like you guys got every single loose ball. What's happening good defensively right now here for so many games in a row?
We're taking pride in it. We're taking pride in our matchups. We're taking pride in team defense, and that's something that we didn't really have in the beginning of the year, but we've really seen the potential and seen how good we can be as a team defensively, and we've really just been emphasizing that in practice. And Going into the games, we really just we're controlling the backboards, controlling the rebounds, controlling our matchups, being the gaps, and overall, everyone's talking. I think Coach Davis had talked about it, just like in the huddles. He likes the communications, not just from himself, but from everybody in the huddle. That's what really gets us going and really just keeps everyone together. So defensively, we're doing the great things in order to us to lead down to offense, and it's keeping us in the games and actually winning by a lot. So.
Winning by a lot and getting biscuits. Have you ever in your life seen anything people enjoy more than Carolina getting 100 points? And how fun is it over there on the bench when you're trying to see who's getting that biscuit shot?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Just the overall environment and the energy from the crowd, just to see how we're at 98 and then you need 2 more points for biscuits. I mean, just they're all excited for biscuits. So I'm happy James was able to knock down those 2 free throws to get 100 for them. So, but I mean, I've never seen a crowd like that go crazy for some biscuits.
You've never gotten to do the biscuit shot, have you?
I think I might have. No, I don't think so. Actually, I might have. I'm not sure, but I do know like this is probably the first year where we scored 100 times multiple games. So.
One of the few offensive things R.J. Davis has not done, possibly, in his Carolina career. He'll work on it. Tar Heels just destroy Syracuse. Fun Saturday afternoon in Smith Center. R.J., thank you.
Appreciate it.
So for the third time this year, Carolina has 5 players in double figures. R.J. Davis with 22 led the way, also tied his career high with 5 steals. Armando Bacot, 16 points, 11 rebounds. He only played 16 and a half minutes. He could have had a huge statistical day had Carolina needed it. Harrison Ingram had a double-double as well, 11 points, 10 rebounds, also added 3 assists and 2 steals, 11 points and 6 rebounds for Jalen Washington. He had 2 steals as well. And Jalen Withers came off the bench and gave Carolina some good minutes, 10 points and 6 rebounds. Plus he had 9 points for Ryan, 9 points for Trimble. So there were a bunch of different Tar Heels that contributed. Dewey Ferris was splitting double teams and laying it up at the end of the game. Rob Landry raining in threes. It was that type of day for the Tar Heels.
If I had to be worried about something, and you just mentioned Rob Landry raining in a 3, everyone who wasn't R.J. Davis was 3 for 20 from 3. I think in order to beat a really, really good team, and Carolina's seen some this year, Connecticut and Kentucky spring to mind immediately, you're going to need that secondary perimeter guy to consistently score from beyond the arc. And the Tar Heels have had different guys at different times, but I think still looking for that one guy who, when R.J. Davis is double-teamed or something, you can count on him. He's going to knock you on a 3.
Yeah, Ingram and Ryan were combined 1 of 8 from three-point range, and I think we'd agree that the 3 guys that Carolina is most comfortable with shooting the 3 right now would be Davis, Ryan, and Ingram. So they would need those guys and expect those guys, and you've seen it for the most part. Ryan, you'd love to see him be a little more consistent, but we're nitpicking on this game when Carolina wins 103-67 against a solid Syracuse team. So the Heels back at home on Wednesday. That's a late one, 9 o'clock Wednesday night. Carolina hosting Louisville. Louisville's had a tough year, but playing better. They defeated Miami last week. They were very competitive with NC State this weekend, so that'll be certainly a game that needs Carolina's full attention coming up on Wednesday night. But for today, it was all Tar Heels. They improved to 13-3 and 5-0 in conference play with a whopping 36-point win over Syracuse in the Smith Center. Thanks for being with us here on the Carolina Insider Rapid Reactions Edition, presented by Modelo.